Welcome to RNS Podcast. This is our first episode of 2023.
It is. Yay.
I'm here with...
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you. I'm here with Evan.
Yes.
As always.
As always.
But guess who else I'm with?
We have a special guest this week.
Why don't you introduce yourself, our special friend?
I'm here. I'm on RNS Podcast. I'm very excited. My name some call me Sench. Some call me Skitch. You can call me Andy. Those are names of previous lives on YouTube. But I'm happy to be here. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and all your followers.
If you're a frequent listener of RNS Podcast, you know the name. It took us a long time to book him.
Yes, I was very backed up. What is YouTube now? Is it subscribers? Is it followers? Like I know there's an @ now.
It does have subscribers.
You guys
I think there's subscribers now on Twitter, I think. But it's still just subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's I saw that it's followers or it's what is it? @ now. It's on @ symbol on YouTube now. So
by default we got RNS Podcast because we did the URL thing.
Yeah, we did.
So we didn't even have to do anything
what
for
is
that.
What? It's because shorts.
I think it's just like another thing to compete with Twitter because you can @ people in comments now. I guess
that's probably that's a good one.
I feel like you used to be able to do that though in old YouTube, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was more like a thread, chat room kind of thing. But now
I guess that
like
still
Twitter.
exists though.
Yeah.
You know what is crazy? Like, if you follow someone and you click on their page from like they upload like from a shorts, like you're going through your subscriptions and you click on shorts, it default goes to their short page on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like it's like they're really pushing that. Like they're like trying to like really say
they want to compete with TikTok.
Yeah, they're
same
like,
with Instagram.
This is what we want you to see. Like their shorts.
It's really aggressive.
It's very aggressive.
Yeah, I feel like on Instagram all I see is like I don't see the videos anymore. I just see reels.
Yeah, I see real.
Yeah,
everything's pushing. Yeah,
I see reels more than I see like pictures on Instagram.
There's even the thing where like if someone does want to post like just like a static picture meme, they'll literally just make it a reel, like a
because it gets better
reel.
like interaction or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I follow like this film lady who like is always trying to like book people, and she like uploads her like casting calls as a reel, just like a picture, like a reel, and like does like all the hashtags and everything. And
there's a few meme pages that do that, and it's like, well, I hate that.
It's usually the like shitty ones.
Yeah,
or like not shitty ones.
Well, yeah, the one I can think of is Swampy Nutsack.
That's exactly.
He does that.
He's kind of a shitty one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the big ones, like million, maybe a little less.
The big ones that do ads.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally doing that shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get into our topic, which is recapping 2022 films.
Kind of.
And movies, and we can. I don't know if we didn't prepare a list or anything for other topics, but if you guys want to talk about video games or TV shows or anything like that, we could.
I didn't play like any video games this year,
Me
so
either.
I played Kirby. That was fun. I played Kirby.
I played Pokemon Violet. Loved it actually.
Oh yeah.
I had an amazing time playing it. I haven't finished it yet. I still have the Elite Four to finish up real quick. I'm trying to do something like I'm trying to complete as much Pokedex as I can. Do like all the little side tabs before I 100% finish it off.
I'm still finishing up Kirby too. I'm not done yet.
So,
I'm in the second to last world.
Yeah, the one Nintendo game of the year I usually play. Every
one
Nintendo game on fire.
For real.
Switch
Yeah.
Next year will be Zelda, and then after that. Probably the next Switch will come out and have some Mario Party or Mario Kart 9 and Metroid Prime 4.
You better be.
So
yeah, I think Mario. We're due for a new Mario pretty soon.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. But besides that, I didn't really play any other video games this year. I played Fortnite with you guys. Some of the maps and some of the.
Yeah, I guess I did that. I played Fortnite
season?
and Kirby.
Do you know what season we played, Dylan, together?
We played Chapter 3, Season 4 of Fortnite.
That lives in my heart. That era lives in my heart. That was fun. I actually made it to like 100 that battle pass, or like 95. I can't remember, but I got Vader.
Yeah, because you got Vader and Indiana Jones.
I got Vader. So I played that.
That was fun.
Fortnite was fun this year.
The Naruto skins. That was fun. When we had the Naruto skins.
That was badass.
Paul Atreides.
Yeah. I can't think of any other video games I may have played this year.
I pretty much just played Fortnite and Rocket League.
Yeah.
And like old games.
Yeah.
I bought Shantae for the first time this year. I bought Sekiro.
Yeah.
But that Shantae, it's not a new game, but that was a new release, wasn't it? That collection.
I don't know if it was this year.
Okay,
I think it might have been a year or two ago.
Okay,
I'm not
maybe
sure.
I'm wrong though. I don't know.
Yeah, anything I played, I don't even think came out this year. Like I think the Mario Party All Stars, like the new Switch one, I think that came out last year.
Yeah, that wasn't this year.
Played that this year. Played the Mario Golf that's on Switch. I think that's from last
year. That was
year,
last year
I played
also.
some of that this year. So I think everything that came out, like nothing from this year, I think that specifically played.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
So by default, Kirby is my game of the year.
Yeah.
That was the only one I played. So.
Well, I was thinking Pokemon Legends Arceus came out this year too, which was a great game as well.
Oh, okay.
Like, I love that one, but it was pretty different. I have to say I liked Violet more, just because it's more traditional.
It's weird they both came out this year.
I know they should have waited for it probably.
That was what, in March?
Yeah, no, January.
So in January. I'm surprised. I know November is a Pokemon release. I thought it was March and November.
It's weird.
I know they went through November.
Yeah. So yeah, Pokemon Violet was my game of the year.
I'm gonna ask this as well. Okay, just real quick. Any TV shows? Any brand new TV shows of 2022 that you guys enjoyed?
New season of Cobra Kai.
Okay, Cobra
Two
Kai.
new seasons.
Yeah.
Two.
We had two. Yeah, we did get 2 seasons.
We got season 4 and season 5.
Yeah,
I enjoyed both of them. Season 4, I actually like in retrospect. You know, it's crazy. Even though it's been under a year, like it's a year today or something. Like because we have season 5. Looking back, I love season 4. It has some amazing moments of Cobra. Like I love that season.
No, I did too.
The Tori and Sam, their fight in the All Valley, that was a badass fight. I love like Robbie and Hawk when they fight.
That was one of
their
my
fight's
favorites,
fucking awesome, and Hawk comes out on top as the winner. Like spoilers for Cobra Kai.
It's been long enough.
Technically 2 seasons
I'm like,
ago.
yeah. So it wasn't even the newest season. So.
Yeah. So I love that moment, and just a lot of great moments. The I love you Robbie part with Miguel and Johnny. Yeah, that part I remember. That made me cry when I watched it.
That was a haunting moment.
There, I'm gonna bring it up to William when we meet him.
Yeah.
We are looking at going to Atlanta Comic Con.
Yeah.
Is that really what it's called?
It's called something else.
It's literally called like Atlanta convention or something, like pop culture convention or something.
Is it?
I don't think it's called like.
I think their name on Instagram though is like Atlanta Comic Con.
I thought it was I think it's Atlanta Comic Convention, not Atlanta Comic Con.
Because I guess Comic Con,
even though it's literally the same.
It's literally whatever.
That's like a registered trademark.
Yeah,
or something.
exactly.
ATL Comic Convention. So
ATL Comic Convention.
Comic Convention.
There you go.
They're really trying that. Yeah.
But they got some good guests.
Yes, that's like William and Martin are like 2 of like the most exciting guests.
Yeah.
Like that I
But yeah, fucking Johnny from Cobra Kai is gonna be there. That's pretty badass. I hope they add some more cast members because it's him and the teacher, his teacher from
Martin Cove.
Martin Cove. Yeah. What's his name? Kreese.
Yeah.
Kreese. Yes.
Yeah. So
he's badass.
So Cobra Kai, loved that. 2 good seasons this year. 4 was definitely better, but 5 was still, Terry Silver. It was his little arc. I enjoyed.
I do want to mention one thing about Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned a couple things, a couple good moments. I like when Kreese like kills those doctors.
That was fucked up. I was like, damn.
Kreese went crazy.
He did go crazy.
I like how it had to like play like the young guy. It had to be like a moment like where you see young him coming back because the young guy had to pull off the stunts. So it was like he was going back to his youth. It was like nah. Like
honestly,
Martin couldn't. Really
that part was badass though. It was badass.
It was.
Even though it was like kind of a workaround, I still thought it was like really cool.
Yeah, it was.
No,
it was.
Of course. I'm not trying to nitpick.
It's like he's like evil
cool.
again.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, his whole prison arc was cool. Like he played the what's her name? Like the therapist lady. Like he ended up playing her. Like you really think in the end, like he like. Bro, when they killed him in the beginning,
that was funny as fuck. I remember
at
first, when it first happened, I thought he legit died.
My jaw dropped. I was like, no, this can't be real. But he's coming back as the final villain. Hopefully, like one last season. It hasn't been confirmed yet.
And Terry vs. Chosen. I want to bring that up. That was also amazing.
Really good.
Yeah, Terry vs. Chosen.
Terry was badass.
Honestly, I liked them being like a trio. It's fucking badass. Like Johnny and
yes, there was a little bit of squandering because I think like they didn't like what's the
Mike
Barnes. Yeah,
they wasted him.
He like got knocked out immediately, and then Johnny like came out of nowhere, like he was getting his ass beat. Then I know he's like, let me do it.
And you think Mike is gonna come?
There was a little bit of like squander in there. What could have been better, but it was still great. And Chosen with
the goat of the season.
He was awesome this season. That one episode with like where they trained together with the students.
The egg, I like that episode a lot.
So still killing it. I still love the show, even though it is getting like towards the end. Like let's.
For a show that I never expected to be good, it's held up every season.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been good every season.
Definitely my favorite show of the year. So I watched Severance. It was an Apple TV Plus show. It was a damn good show, I gotta say. Very cool sci-fi thriller, grounded sci-fi. You know, not like you're up in space or anything. Like, if you don't know what it is, the concept is like these people go into work and they are completely different people. They go in and like this, the brain changes. They're literally completely different people because the work they do, they can't go out to the normal world knowing what it is. You know, that's spoilers, and I really enjoyed that. So I had a good time watching that.
It's an info hazard.
Yeah, it is. It was a very
It's like internet terminology, I guess.
Yeah, it was.
They can't know, or it like destroys them or something.
Yeah.
Apple TV. They're. I want to watch For All Mankind. I haven't seen that yet, but
I want to watch the M. Night Shyamalan show. He has one there too.
There's quite. I gotta say, every couple months they have a whole nother reason for me. I'm like, all right, maybe I might subscribe for the long term and really watch some of this stuff because they're really coming up on good content.
They do have some good stuff.
Better than Amazon.
They seem to be the best in terms of like consistency.
Yeah,
because Netflix puts like something out every week, but it's like usually shit.
Yeah, you know, I gotta say, we got that out. I gotta say, Netflix actually, people love the poo-poo on them, but they had a great year when you look back on retrospect. I've been thinking about this. They had Stranger Things season 4, which blew up, and everyone talked about that this last summer.
I mean, that's good.
That was the biggest thing this summer. But then listen, then they had Dahmer.
Okay.
They had Dahmer.
That's true.
Dahmer was just as big. Honestly,
huge
show. Now they have Wednesday, which is just as big as, if not bigger than all these things.
I like Wednesday.
Now they're saying that's even bigger than Stranger Things.
And they had Squid Game last year.
Squid Game last year.
I heard Wednesday's their third biggest of all time. It was Squid Games, Stranger Things season 4, and then Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think is like that's the top of all time.
Yeah. And you know, then Gray Man. They had Gray Man this year, and Glass Onion is huge.
Is
right
Bullet Train them or no?
No,
that was Sony.
Okay,
Sony just has an agreement with
it. Just
Netflix.
went to Netflix so fast that I thought maybe it was a Netflix movie.
It's weird. Sony has an agreement with Netflix. They're like pumping out on there for I think it's like 5 years. Like their movie's gonna go straight there, like right away.
Like 30 days.
Yeah, it's like right away. Their movies go.
No, not 30 days. Because Bullet Train came out in August.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Bullet Train came out in August.
Yeah, it came out in the very beginning of August. So probably.
I felt like it went straight to Netflix, but I guess
maybe like 2-3 months.
I don't know.
It took a while.
Maybe I just didn't have a lot of investment in Bullet Train, so I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So Netflix, I'm still looking at them with potential.
I'm not saying they're dog shit or anything, but I just think
they do release a lot of they have a lot of original content.
I just respect Apple for going like, okay, we're gonna take our time with each show.
It's true. I think it's better than Amazon. Amazon, I don't really. They pumped all this money into the Lord of the Rings show, and I don't really think it really paid off as well as they wanted to. Especially going up against
that on this podcast.
Especially going up against Game of Thrones. That's the show I heard way more about this year.
Yeah.
But so I think Apple's give it a couple more years. Apple TV might be on a little more of a come up. I might be a subscriber to them for a little bit.
I respect it. If let's see what funny IPs I get, then I'll go on there.
Yeah. When are they gonna buy Paramount?
Yeah, when are they gonna make a Flintstones miniseries?
Yes, exactly.
Then I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Was Peacemaker this year?
Yeah, Peacemaker was at the very beginning of this.
That was the worst.
Peacemaker was good.
Worst TV show of the year.
I enjoyed it the very beginning.
I liked the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I was laughing
at
it, enjoying it. I never finished it, but I kind of got out of it after a while. I was like, all right, it's kind of
great.
Yeah.
It's kind of great. So I have to stop watching it.
It's over, maybe potentially. We don't know.
I would guess it's over.
Yeah, it's you gotta think you can't be a hypocrite and cancel all these other people things that they love.
That would be a super bad look.
Yeah,
we haven't really talked about that on the show, but yeah, James Gunn's taking over DC.
Yeah,
and then that's his show.
Maybe we should save that for the anticipated.
Sure.
Part of it. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense, I think.
Yeah. Sure. That's next year.
Yeah.
I agree. So any other TV shows of this year? Survivor. I watched season 43 of Survivor. Loved it. Great season. Probably my favorite of the quote unquote new era of Survivor. It's down to only 26 days on the island. A lot of other bullshit that's kind of been changed about it, but still really enjoyed this season. Gotta say. So I watched it every Wednesday. Had a good time.
Fun.
Paramount Plus. I actually enjoy their streaming service. I must say I'm usually using them. So. That was a good season this year. Anything else you guys? You said you watched Wednesday?
Yeah, I enjoyed Wednesday. It was a little it's almost exactly like the Sabrina show.
Yeah, kind of.
But it's a little better than the Sabrina. I kind of like the Sabrina show too. I actually watched the first season of that also. But fucking Luis Guzman, is that his name? And who's the Morticia?
I don't know who plays him on. Who is it?
It's someone famous also. I can't remember though, but
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes, exactly. They're great. The kid that plays Pugsley is great. But the family's not in it that much.
Because it's called Wednesday.
Because it's
not
called
the
because
Aston.
they can't afford them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very entertaining show. It was fun. But
that's good.
It made me think of this thing about Wednesday though. It's like in some other things, it's like, oh, they're actually like weird, demented characters. But in this, it's just, like she's just like saying jokes.
Yeah.
And then like when someone actually is like mad at her and it's just a normal like white guy that's like 6 foot tall and he like wants to like hit her and she like starts screaming and running around and it's like you're supposed to be like a demented, twisted character.
Yeah,
I know it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
but...
I get that. She fell easily. Like she wasn't like strong or anything. Like not to say like she was not a strong woman character or anything, but you know, like she folded easily. She like would go and like scream. Yeah,
but it's like you're an Adams. You're supposed to be creepy.
I get that.
You're supposed to be fearless. You know.
Yeah.
The CGI movie did it better.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
I only saw the first one.
We saw the first one together.
Yeah.
That's all I saw.
I didn't see the second one.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I watched that Harry Potter 20th anniversary.
Was that this year?
That was actually this year. I know that's crazy to think about, but that was actually
it's like early in the year, right?
It was literally the first day, like January 1st, 2022. It came out, and it was enjoyable. I had a good time watching it. It got me. After I watched it, I watched all the Harry Potter. Oh, actually, me and Matt, we watched the first minute of it, and then I was like, let's watch Harry Potter first. Me and Maddie, and so we watched all the Harry Potter movies. Then we watched the special after that. It was good. It was a great time. You know, I would recommend it to any Harry Potter fan. I think it was a cool recap, and it was nice to see it. Especially, you know, knowing that the guy who played, what's his name, Hagrid died.
Oh, God rest his soul.
Yeah, God rest his soul. It was nice that I remember his part. Like he talks a lot, and he has a nice little part. So
that's nice.
Looking back, it's nice to know that he was able to talk about the series, you know, one last time. And
I saw some clip of him. I don't know if it was from the reunion, but he was like, "Oh, when I'm long gone, Hagrid."
That was something special. Yeah, so
that's sweet.
I would recommend that to anybody who loves Harry Potter.
Yeah, I always wonder if those like reunion specials are any good because I've never really had one where I was like invested enough in that property to watch it.
Yeah, there's some are hit or miss. I watched the Friends one actually. That one was so like it was
like
a bunch
just fluff.
It was a bunch of people that was like, I was in such a dark place, but Friends changed everything. Like friends were the friends that I needed when I had no one. It was literally like, look how great our show is. Like make sure you stay subscribed to HBO Max because like Friends is never gonna leave. So
when are they doing the Seinfeld one?
It'll always be.
I think he actually addressed that. He's like, no, we're not doing that. Jerry Seinfeld's like, no, we're not doing that.
No. Kramer, we don't want
to
bring him back out.
We don't even want to have to. Like,
but I feel like that will automatically be like the best one, like by default. You know what I mean? It would just be the best one.
And I know the girl.
They should do a Himian one.
Yeah. They should,
I watched that.
It's a little too soon though. I think.
Yeah.
A little too soon.
When did it end? Like 2013?
When did it end? Do you know?
What?
How I Met Your Mother?
2014.
2014.
It was you know in the fall like series like 2013 to 2014.
Yeah.
Block.
You know, because like Friends is like 25 years, whatever. Blah, blah,
so
blah. You know what I mean? Like it's only.
I mean, it's the 10 years.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
this
true.
Fall,
I guess. that would be great.
Well, I want it to be a little bit longer. I want to be like fucking damn near 40, and then I come back and
you know what it has to be. It has to be like when he's talking to the kids, like 2030 or something. That has to be.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that has to be the year that.
That's not a bad idea.
David Henry comes back with the girl.
Yes,
that would be great.
They will probably do that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay.
Love David Henry. Rip Bob Saget as well.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, Bob Saget.
That's true. Yeah.
There's a lot of
he
deaths
died this year. Yeah, he died this year. Rip Bob Saget.
There's Bob Saget, Gilbert Gottfried, Kevin Conroy.
Aaron Carter.
Carter came out of the blue.
Take off.
Rip Takeoff.
That one hurt.
And then there was and also what's his name? Sorry.
Aaron Carter came out of the blue. I just wanted to acknowledge that joke really quick.
Thank you.
Man.
We don't have to explain.
And he started beating up Shaquille O'Neal. Yes.
Lots of comic artists. Lots of comic artists or like people who
I think
drove for like.
Was that this year that Denny O'Neil died? I think this year.
So it was a hard world for the comics.
Yeah. I'm a fake fan. I can't think of any. But I know there was a few this year.
God rest anyone as big and small of an impact they made on this world. God rest their souls.
What's his name? Jason David Frank also.
Oh man,
rip Jason David Frank. Yeah, we have to have an Oscars little section where we say all the
yes, I agree. I wish I looked a little more under that to say like a couple more people that passed away this year that I would like to shout out to them. You know, so. Rest in peace to everyone that comes before us and after us.
Brett Mounts.
Yes,
rest in peace, Brett Mounts.
That one hurts
as well. That hurts me to my core.
Well, let me ask one more question before we get right into it.
Oh wait, something about TV show before we get off TV shows. Even though obviously this wasn't a new
TV show.
Even though this wasn't a new TV show, I did watch Breaking Bad this year.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
We talked about that on the
Better Call
podcast. Yeah, and you want Better Call Saul, yeah. But that finished up this year, so that
did
kind of
finish up
count.
this year.
That kind of
Oh, I don't know how I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
Finish
that
up this year.
Yeah.
TV, like, maybe because there's not like a letterbox for TV. I guess I don't see the stuff as much as like I wish I did. There is like something like it that I'm trying to get into called like Tracked or something that like tracks.
Well,
the
they have
shows you
TV
watch.
shows on Letterboxd, don't
Yeah,
they?
they do
Sometimes.
Or is
It's
it
more
just
like
like
miniseries.
it's limited,
It's like,
right?
it's like miniseries.
So I wish I had something like I see the things that I watched a little more on TV to remember it, because like I feel like there's some stuff I may have watched in the beginning this year that I've completely forgot about.
Right.
Well, I barely just in general, I don't really watch TV like that.
I don't like TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine, but like I just like
I
can never get invested. Like spend that time getting.
I want to get bigger in
invested.
TV, to be honest. I think there's a lot of like good stuff in TV that I haven't watched yet. Like,
I'm sure there
Yeah.
are. Like, there's something like Better Call Saul I got into just because I was like, okay, like everyone's saying this is good. I really like that character. He's cool. So I'll just watch the show and I'll probably enjoy it. But for the most part, like if you're gonna go in like somewhat blind, like we do for a lot of movies, it's like for a movie, it's like that's a 2-hour time sink.
I say you invest so much more time
For a TV show, you're gonna be sitting there for like 13 hours, and
Facts.
and then you'll be like, oh well, this isn't really good.
It's true.
Yeah, and
It's
then
true.
you already wasted 13 hours.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I don't like TV.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed Breaking Bad.
Yeah, well, yeah. It was-
Let me ask, what music did you guys like listen to that came out this year? Any big? Like,
I
big
only
music
listen to
listeners?
older shit, so it's like, I don't think
any albums though that came out this year, like from artists you like that you're like, okay, that was good. Like The Weeknd, he came out with Dawn FM. I like that a lot.
Donda?
Donda 2.
Wasn't
came out
Donda
this year.
last year though?
Yeah, Donda was last year.
Donda 2.
Donda 2. I haven't heard that one yet.
I've heard like one or two songs.
Yeah.
What else came out this year? Bella Porch's album came out this year.
That's good. I didn't know that. I know Build a Bitch was.
Oh, Denzel Curry had his album this year. I like that.
Okay, yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
And I saw him on tour. That was fun.
Hell yeah. Harry Styles.
Harry
You're a
Styles.
big Harry Styles fan.
we
Big
do
year for him.
stand. We do stand.
Big year for him. Yeah. In potentially one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Potentially on the
My Policeman.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah, just wondering if there was any music. that came
Yeah,
out.
it's like all the shit I listened to was not this not this year. So.
I think the Ghost and Molly McGee was this year, or like half of the season. That's a really good cartoon.
Yeah.
I have not seen a good cartoon come out of Disney Channel in many, many years. So that's a cool show. I really like that show.
It's good.
And I want to watch. I don't know if you've heard anything about it because the girl from that show is in an Apple show. I think it's called Mythic Quest. Is that right?
It might be that Steven Spielberg show that he made. It's called like
He has a show?
Insane World or something. I can't remember.
No, it's
I can't. Yeah.
I didn't even know he had a
Like
show on there.
it's like Spectacular Stories or something like that. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember.
Well, I guess that wraps up all the other mediums,
Yeah.
as it were.
Clearly, we weren't as invested
were not
in any of those
Yeah.
as movies.
I was just curious if you guys had any highlights, so it's good to know.
Wait. What was your... unless it's too personal, you don't want to say, but what was your favorite memory of the year? Can we say
Favorite
that?
memory of the
yeah,
year?
I have mine easily, so
Let me think. I went to a wedding. I had a good time at a wedding with a lot of my friends, and like the bachelor party leading up to it. I guess is actually the better part of the answer.
Yeah.
that was really
yeah,
fun.
fuck the wedding.
Yeah,
Just kidding,
loved the
to
bachelor
whoever's
party.
wedding that was.
That was
very fun.
awesome, and just like hanging out with friends, and I'm going to the movies. Obviously, it was a good year at the movies. And I went to Nashville for the first time. Loved Nashville. That was a great city. Partied there. And I'm just like getting better at work. That's always fun. Just getting better at your job and learning it more. And just like
Learning and growing.
Learning and growing. Yeah. So that's a good memory. That was a good part of my year. And just kind of fun year.
Kicking back being cool.
Yeah, kicking back and being
Well, Andy,
cool.
I said favorite memory.
Sorry.
Yeah, you want your whole life story, Buster. We didn't want your life story, Buster.
You don't need to remind us how much of a better year you had than the rest of us. Okay.
No.
Well, do you mind if I go?
Yeah.
I'd like to answer. Definitely one of them was going to Six Flags with you guys.
That was fun.
So
That was fun.
Because, truth be told, I only went on 2 roller coasters. But I kind of
wasn't going to expose you.
It's all right. I'll do it myself. But it was very exciting because I don't like roller coasters at all. So the 2 that I did go on, it got my heart pumping. And I was like, this, what? After all these years of, I haven't been on a roller coaster in 10 years, still not for me. I got to rediscover that, and
that's always good. Sometimes you need you're not sure about something, you need a reminder.
Yeah, it's nice.
What was the ride you did? You did Goliath.
Tried different things.
At least you did the best ride.
We did
that's
Firestarter,
true.
or Fire Scorcher.
What is it?
Georgia Scorcher.
Georgia Scorcher, and we did Goliath, and you guys both say that's the best roller coaster
Goliath
of all time.
is the best roller coaster.
So,
probably the best roller coaster of all time for me. And I absolutely love that.
So at least I can say I was on that.
So
one.
yeah, you did that one. We did that twice, right? Like,
we did
ride
it twice.
with us?
No, I didn't do it twice. You guys got right back on though.
Yeah.
Because there was no line in the morning.
Such a great ride.
Yeah,
Wait, did you do Superman or no?
No, I waited in the line with you guys.
Yeah, you waited in line. That was what it was. Yeah.
I should have gone on
crazy.
Superman.
Superman's crazy.
I kind of regret
it
just because I'm a
crazy.
huge Superman fan.
Superman is so scary.
Yeah, I was like, you definitely would not enjoy it or have a good time.
Would have to have my
because
eyes
it's
closed
scarier than
the
other two
Superman's
you
a
rode.
ride
So.
that, like in the back of your head the whole time. It's like I could so easily die right now. If like something like just like one of these latches just fucking broke over.
It like forces you into fight or flight the entire ride.
Exactly. Like this shit's been really going on for like 40 years. You know, like why?
Yeah.
What's to say like the latch doesn't finally break on me? You know, like.
I think I saw this recently. I think that's the second oldest Six Flags.
Yeah.
Is Georgia.
I think you told me, like, yeah.
I think so. I don't know how old Superman is, though.
Probably, I would say, like, maybe, like, 90s to early 2000s.
Probably
based on,
something
like,
like
the
that.
art and everything
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
So. And I go in there as a kid. Like, I remember it when we were kids. So, at least 20 years, like, it's been going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's honestly the best part about Six Flags. It has cool DC rides. Like I was telling you about that Mr. Freeze ride that's in one of the parks where it's just straight up and down.
I actually wound up watching footage of that later.
Yeah, it's cool.
It looks insane.
Like I wish like they need to like do more with that. Like that's like DC. Like,
and they took the Joker out.
Yeah, like that's incredible.
That's interesting too because the Joker was that one of the ones that's like all like vertical.
It's just the loop.
It's like a weird zigzag kind of loop, right?
No, it's just
a
big
loop.
You just
Just a
get in
loop.
the cart and just
Yeah.
spins you.
Oh,
on
that's
the loop.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like that Green Lantern ride where it like jerks you around and like twists around, but it's like a vertical track.
No, it's just a loop.
Like, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, they need to step that shit up.
No.
But no, that was definitely one of my favorite memories of the year.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good choice.
I loved
Good
it,
choice.
I loved
What
it.
about you, Evan?
Great time there.
My favorite is I got to see Morrissey this year. That's something I've been waiting to do for a very long time.
That was epic.
So
That's fantastic. And where'd you go to see him?
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
The Met, great venue, and I was
awesome.
very close to the front. So
How cool.
it was a great day.
You got a little Siggy. You got an album.
Yeah, I did got the signed vinyl. That was great.
Besides Morrissey, that's his name.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of Philadelphia? Like, what was really cool there?
See, this could be such a stupid answer, but like I ate at this vegan place and I had like the best vegan burger I ever had. So
Well, also, to be fair, you only had a day there.
Yeah, I was there for pretty much only a day
Yeah,
because I went literally only for the concert.
Understandable.
Yeah, but when I was there though,
Great.
I had an amazing vegan burger. So
Cool.
that's the first thing that came out.
You
My son
can't
like
beat
that.
You can't beat not the gorgeous, beautiful American history and lineage, but
That was
you
cool.
You're gonna trigger like a lot of redneckers.
Yeah.
Like, you wish on the Liberty Bell, but
I did see the Liberty Bell.
our base is all right wing, so you better say the right thing.
Yeah,
I mean, the vegan burger was terrible. Go eat a real burger.
Yeah.
And go look at the Liberty Bell while you do it.
Yes, exactly.
No, but you showed us that, like, the George Washington statue, and, like, what is that?
Yeah, that was cool.
What is the place called?
It's like Independence Hall.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Independence Hall.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's badass.
That was fun. And I went in the Benjamin Franklin Museum. That was cool.
Lots of cool travels this year.
But the burger was definitely
around
the highlight outside of Morrissey.
I went to New Mexico. I guess I forgot to say that. I went to New
Oh
Mexico.
yeah,
That
you
was
saw the
fun.
Breaking Bad house.
Yeah, I did. I got screamed at.
The day that Evan started watching Breaking Bad, Andy was at the Breaking
Yeah,
Bad.
because it was in the morning, and then
That
it was like
was
you were
fun,
like,
man.
I was like, I should finally watch Breaking Bad. So
Yeah,
I was like,
that
I started watching it that night. Yeah,
That was funny.
Yeah, that was so funny. I got screamed at by her.
That's like almost like
Yeah.
its own little reward.
Yeah, it was. I
To
felt
be screamed at by the Breaking Bad house owner.
you feel like a bigger fan when you get screamed at.
Yeah.
by her. You're like, hell yeah, like fuck you, Roxanne, whatever her name is. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a famous thing, so like
It is,
you can look
yeah.
it up. Like many people have been yelled at by her.
Yeah, that is absolutely ridiculous.
That's awesome.
What a silly lady she is.
What a funny little lass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think that about covers it.
Yep.
So what? Wait, real quick though, before we move on, what was your guys' biggest heartbreak of the year? No, I'm just playing.
I was like, I had to think about that.
No, I'm just playing. That's a funny question. But yeah, let's get into our worst movies of 2022.
Woo!
Andy, since you're a special guest, you're
I'd be
going
happy
to be
to go
starting.
first. Yeah.
And do you have any dishonorable mentions?
Do I have? I do actually. Yes,
Okay.
I do. I want to give a shout out to the absolute god awful content going on Disney Plus.
That's a good dishonorable mention.
Because this could be my whole list, to be completely honest. So I wrote a list of these terrible things that came out this year on Disney Plus. Cheaper by the Dozen remake with Zach Braff as the star.
As the dad?
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a
and
thing.
he has a bunch of like adopted kids, like 12
even know
adopted
that.
kids. I'm like, what the? Yes.
Cheaper by the dozen.
Yeah,
12 kids.
so that came out. Pinocchio,
Yeah.
just a guy. I didn't watch it, so I wouldn't even go.
No, I didn't watch that.
What a
But
god
Robert
awful-
Zemeckis.
I
Oh,
guarantee you, if you had seen it, it would be on your top 5.
You saw it?
No.
Oh,
I'm
But
honestly,
it looks so bad.
I don't really like streaming movies. Like they can fill up a top 10 list like so quick. You
I know,
because
yeah.
There's so many of them, and like it's like so like I'm like I kind of don't like when
all
the
my
stream-
choices are things I saw in theaters.
Same. I don't like when it's just all like streaming movies.
I have some dishonorable mentions too, but I moved it from my worst to like an honorable mention because I was like, well, this is a streaming movie.
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
So
Yeah, so Willow, the Willow remake show, that looks just fucking terrible. All the terrible Marvel shows, Miss Marvel,
Yeah.
Moon Knight,
Oh, no.
She-Hulk.
These are pretty good though. But
I hated everything I saw of everything of those. Obi-Wan, terrible.
Oh.
Everything I saw of Obi-Wan, young Leia. I mean, no disrespect to the little young girl actor, but you know, it's such a terrible story.
yeah, the whole thing. This has been talked about to death, but like just like the scene of her running,
It's just
and she's a baby, so she's running like 2 miles an hour, and then
Yeah.
like the adult stormtroopers are like chasing her, and they're like like intentionally going like really slow,
Yeah.
so that like
yeah, exactly.
the little
It's
baby
so,
can run away.
Yeah, it's so
It's so
silly. I liked Chip and Dale. That's the one thing I want to. I enjoy Chip and Dale.
I hated Chip.
Yeah, it was. I can totally see why anyone would hate it. It's so stupid and silly, and like if you hate that, if you're in a bad, like you're not like fucking with that in the moment. Like it's like one of those things. Like you have to be in like the mood for all those cameos and
Yeah.
everything. If you're in the mindset that's like fuck all that stupid cameo shit, and you watch that, you're like, this is the goddamn dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like
I'm sure there were some good jokes, but nothing stands out at me, I guess. And like Andy Samberg and John Mulaney.
oh my gosh,
Like
yeah.
I'm personally,
what a duo.
I'm really not.
What a duo.
I'm not into that.
I
don't
can definitely
know.
see them doing like a live action movie together. Honestly, like,
I'd probably like that more.
Yeah, I think they're like they could be a good duo.
To
Not
be
a good one,
honest.
but like they could like be a real thing.
But just them as Chip and Dale, it just feels like some like terrible corporate idea.
Yeah. So that was my dishonorable mention. Personally.
Is it okay if I get into mine?
Yes, please.
My dishonorable mention. So I only did one honorable mention for each of the segments, or in this case, one dishonorable mention. In my dishonorable mention, I put Uncharted.
Okay, I also put that one. I have 2, so
Yeah.
that's also mine.
Yeah, Uncharted.
One of mine.
To quote Chris Carr, why is this movie so charted? I agree. I agree with her because most of the movie is like in established places.
Yeah.
And Uncharted is a shooter, and Tom Holland only holds a gun for like 1 minute at the end of the movie.
As per your classic.
Yeah,
Letterboxd
yeah,
review.
exactly. Yeah.
That's so
So
I didn't see that.
and
You didn't see it?
No.
he did not feel like
Good for
Nathan
you.
Drake.
Yeah.
He was just Tom Holland.
It was just
and
Tom Holland.
He was just Tom
You know
Holland.
what's
I don't
funny
like
is,
that.
Tom Holland.
And
I
him
saw-
and Mark Wahlberg both sucked.
I saw an interview recently where Mark Wahlberg, like, I didn't realize he was Drake for a long time.
He was Drake.
What do you mean?
Like, he was
Oh, he was attached.
he was attached to the
yeah,
project
Yeah.
as Drake since like 2009.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they called him up and they were like, "Hey, like, so we're moving forward, but we want you as like, we're gonna have Tom
Oh,
Holland
yeah.
like co-starring with you." And he was like, "Why the fuck do we need Tom Holland?" And it was like, "Oh, because I'm Sully."
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know, that's pretty funny. I would have preferred the movie to be Mark Wahlberg
Yeah, me
starring
too. Like,
as
fuck
Drake.
Mark Wahlberg,
I wouldn't have
yeah.
one of either one, but
I mean, like you know,
I agree. Just because he's a little older. Right? That's literally the only reason why. Like, Tom Holland is too young to be Nathan
He's
Drake.
just a little-
I
yeah.
hate
But
it.
they want that franchise.
They do. They
shit,
want the
so.
franchise.
And it's probably gonna get a part 2 because
Probably is. It made like
it did well.
400
Yeah.
Yeah.
400 million. Do you know the budget?
Yeah, I mean, maybe like 100 million if I had to guess. So, Uncharted, is that your dishonorable mention?
Yeah, my dishonorable mention, Uncharted.
Yeah.
Not a good movie. But it sucked. The villain sucked. Because Uncharted it had decent villains.
Yeah, I liked them.
So it's like everything you love in the game is not in this movie. It's just like,
I love the game.
Yeah, they just took the title. They just took the title.
It's just disrespectful.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
the terrible post-credit
It's
scene.
literally, yeah.
Well, both of them were terrible.
I
Both
don't
the
even
post-credit
remember.
scene. Did you see Uncharted?
Yeah, I think no, I don't even remember because I think I looked it up online.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what it is now. Like it's like Wait, what's the post-credit scene in it?
Like Drake and Sully like rob someone.
And he has the mustache.
And he has the mustache, and then Tom has guns.
Yeah, and then the other one is in Brother. Like being alive in the prison. Yeah, that was stupid.
Sam's fucking. They're coming. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's like alive in the prison.
All right. You got any dishonorable mentions on?
I do. I just have one, and it's Firestarter.
You watched
which
it?
was my example earlier.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know if we cut that out. But Firestarter. It is also a bad. Like both Firestarters are not great, but this one's definitely worse.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
It's like I hear it.
I enjoy the first Firestarter, the original one, but this one is like, it just feels like a cheap streaming movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was in
theaters. It was a wide release.
It
was a wide release.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. But it definitely, like, dead ass feels exactly like a TV movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a Lifetime movie for real.
It ain't shit.
How was Zac Efron in it?
But Zac Efron, he was pretty bad.
He did his thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's a lot of shitty things we talked about.
And I also, I wanted to make my worst of 2022 to be more about, like, disappointments in movies that I thought would be good versus, like...
I just did it like, this was shit. I thought it was the worst.
I didn't want to talk about, like, Lost City.
Yeah.
Because, like, I had no inclination that would be a good movie in the first place.
Yeah.
I didn't do it that way. I just did it. If it was shit, I put it on there.
How terrible the time I had
watching
it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so...
I guess for me, though, that's more tied to, like, my expectations.
True,
so,
I agree. Yeah. All right, well, should I start?
Yeah.
Okay, well, number 5 on my list is X. Yes. Saw X. Really did not enjoy it.
Me either. Did not like that movie.
It's hard for me to even remember what I didn't like about it. And when I go back and look at it, it's because it was just so boring. I think it was just
It's extremely boring.
Stupid and boring and... Like, and then when I do remember what it's about the old woman, like, killing all these people, it's so stupid and doesn't make sense. He's like, young, fit teens being killed off by an old woman that is just horny.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I don't like the message that it's like, oh, old people are...
It felt ageist.
Like,
deadass it did.
Like, it's been a long time since I've seen it, so I don't remember as well. But I remember walking out and being like, I didn't like how this movie, like, what it was saying.
Felt like mean-spirited.
Yeah, I know, and like I know it probably wasn't, but I just didn't like it. Like I didn't like that. It felt weird that it was kind of like the older woman was like mad that she couldn't have sex or anything, so she like killed all these teens about it.
It is kind of, but when you really think about it,
and she's the new Barbarian too. Like the new fucking modern trope is ugly old grandma is now the most evil, scary thing. It's like it's definitely more in this X than fucking Barbarian.
But it is relatable.
It's just like what the fuck? Why are we doing these like scary old ladies? Like the old ladies are nice. Like like,
what they do to you?
Yeah.
Exactly. But the old lady though was sympathetic in Barbarian.
It's true. You're right. I don't mean to bring Barbarian. That's a much better movie.
Well, they tried to do that. They tried to do it with Pearl.
Yeah.
But we can get into
that.
that.
It's still the same trope though.
Yeah. And the Kid Cudi, the landslide cover.
I actually thought he was one of the better parts of the movie, personally. That was terrible.
I have nothing against him or anything, but like I didn't really care about Kid Cudi. He's not a great actor. They were all bad actors.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really. They were like like.
Controversial.
Yeah. I mean, Jenna Ortega. I've seen her in better things for sure, but she might come back up later. But,
can I say something real quick about Jenna Ortega?
Yeah.
Although she's like she's okay in Wednesday, but like she's the worst of the Addams Family cast.
Yeah.
Genuinely, she's the weakest actor, I think, including Pugsley, which is just some random kid.
Wait, of all the people that are just in Wednesday, like she's
not of everyone in the show, but of the like Addams Family.
Yeah. The new Gomez, the new Morticia, they're all better than her,
in my opinion.
Interesting. So I just very much disliked it. I did not have a good time watching that. Very, very boring movie. The landslide cover fucking was terrible. And honestly, so much of it I don't even remember. Like I hated this movie when I first saw it, and over like the last like 9 or 10 months, I've just forgotten everything because nothing was memorable in it. Yeah. Nothing stuck with me. It was just a shitty attempt at a horror movie that didn't really work.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
So that's your 5, X.
Yeah, that's my number 5.
Yeah.
X is number 5 in my opinion.
Well, Andy, my number 5 is X, but I'm building off it a little bit because my number 5 is X, but I cheated a little bit. I put X and Pearl, both for number 5.
Yes, yeah. So
because they both came out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to go off what you're saying about X, so so it's like advertised as like a porno slasher. which sounds exciting, but this is a very boring. And I don't mind like the slow burn horror, but this is just done very badly. It's like very pretentious.
It's not boring in a deliberate way.
Well, it's like trying to be like the slow A24 horror, but it's just
really?
but it's not done.
That's
well.
a weird choice, like you said, though, for like a porn exploitation.
Yeah,
type
but I think it was like supposed to be
slasher.
kind of like a subversion, but it just was stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a bad idea.
I hated the alligator. That was such a stupid,
yeah.
Didn't make any sense. I love alligators, and like I remember, I really do. They were
Why allow crocodiles in your top
it's
5?
in my top 5. Don't spoil it.
Spoilers.
Shit. The way better crocodile movie this year. But is the crocodile in Pearl? I think I remember seeing like his.
Yeah, it is.
That's fucking so stupid. So very unenjoyable. Yeah. Okay. So it's your list.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to say, X was not good.
And Pearl is just as bad.
And that it's like so.
So they really had the sequel or like the prequel come out the same year?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Because he shot them back to back.
That was presumptuous.
Well, they did well.
one.
They did well money wise. So yeah.
So right. Yeah, they both did, especially for the budget. Whatever.
Pearl was only $1 million budget, and
Yeah.
it did $10 million in the box office.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
And then on streaming, you already know it's been doing great on streaming.
Yeah.
That's where way more people.
That's
watch
one
it.
thing about like the meta nowadays about movies. It's like there's always that backseat, like, oh well, this will do something on streaming.
I wish you could see the numbers on streaming like you can box office, because it'd be really interesting to see what these A24 movies do on streaming, because I feel like that's where they really shine. Way more people are seeing.
But the thing is, like, they're more for like, oh, look at this big back catalog of like wide release movies we have, so you can stick around and watch whatever you want. But it's not like people are like, oh, I need to watch X, I'm gonna buy Netflix.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of a different.
I know what you mean.
Like, thing. I don't know.
Yeah, and they certainly A24's growing their name so much in the last 2 years.
Normies know
honestly.
who they are
Ever
at this point.
2019 like really put them on the map. Like they were obviously making waves before that, but with 2019 when
actually when Moonlight won Best Picture.
I agree. Moonlight
that was 2017,
really was where they
right?
put them on the spotlight. I agree, but I think they just had so many movies in 2019 that really broke out, like The Lighthouse. I'm trying to remember something like Midsummer. That's really where so many movies that. And to be fair, a lot of part of it is Letterboxd's growth too. I've seen that, and just like film reviewing and all this stuff. Like, everything's more accessible. These movies, like 10 years ago, they weren't as well known like some of these more littler A24 movies. Now, if they're trending on Letterboxd, way more people are gonna see it versus just even a couple years ago. So.
Yeah, and it makes movies more accessible when you can see like, oh, these are like people making jokes about the movie.
Exactly. Twitter blowing up and everything. Just they're way more in the zeitgeist of like film talk now than even just a couple years ago. So I mean, and I still love A24. I'll always go see as of right now movies that they make that I'm interested in, but really disappointed.
Was Invisible Man 2019?
That was not 2024. That was
Blumhouse.
Yeah,
that was 2020.
But I was kind of very disappointed.
No, not the same.
Very disappointed next this year. So that's your
but yeah, X. Since we kind of talked about it a little bit, I don't want to get too much into it. But Pearl, the thing Pearl was just also equally boring, if not more boring.
Yeah.
Because it's like focusing on a character I already didn't care about. It's like the old lady.
Yeah.
And Mia Goth obviously plays her again. And then it's like
she kind of deserve an Oscar for that one.
Yeah, of course. And
the
it's like
makeup was bad in X. I remember that. It was just classic old lady makeup. You can tell. It's good makeup. Shout out to the makeup department. I'm not trying to shit on them, but you can just tell. No matter how good the makeup is, you can tell it's an old a young person in old people makeup. I don't like that. I don't know.
It feels cheap.
Yeah.
But what I was saying about Pearl is that it kind of what was already kind of a weak theme in X is wanting to be a star. It kind of tries to carry on to that in Pearl and make her more sympathetic. It's she's the same. She wanted to be this big famous.
I'm connecting
actress.
the dots right now. Pearl is the old lady in X.
Yeah.
I did not know that until right now.
Yeah. So
I haven't seen either
movie.
movie.
Played by the same star in both movies.
Yeah, Mia Goth played her in both.
Who's Maxine? Is that the girl?
That from X. Yeah. Okay. So that one's gonna be a sequel.
That's gonna be the third one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
T.I.'s doing it.
So it was just a very boring horror movie, Pearl, and then I did not care about the character, and then it tried to build off that theme, and it wasn't done well. But I will say there was one really good sequence in Pearl, though, that I liked. It was probably my favorite part of the movie. It's the dance sequence that she does when she's auditioning for this. I I forgot what it was, like a play or something.
Yeah.
But that sequence was actually done really well. I liked it. But besides that, it's just a really not exciting.
You know what, Evan?
Annoying
horror movie.
Good
Like a
for you
character
for seeing
piece
the
about a
light
character
in
I
the
don't
dark.
care about.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like the '70s theme. I thought was like all right. If I remember right, it was captured all right in X. If I remember, I mean, I might be completely remembering it wrong. So like it was so long ago. But I think like I like the
aesthetic was-
'70s aesthetic in it.
Yeah.
That's like one positive thing about it, but that means nothing nowadays. You can,
I'm sick of period shit.
Yeah,
I really
like,
am.
I don't say I'm sick, but like it's just like I'm sick of the hype around. Like it's not like it's set in the '70s, so it's so much better like than nowadays modern. It's like no, like
I
they're just
know,
like
Stranger Things.
yeah, it's just like no, just because it's in the '80s doesn't make like a boring story better.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, for sure.
Are we? Yeah, we're on our
This
number
is number
5.
five,
worst.
yeah.
Okay. So this is already controversial.
Okay.
Yeah.
My number 5 worst is Babylon.
Okay.
I think Babylon. It's Damien Chazelle.
It is.
Yeah.
Is it his 4th feature?
Yeah, fourth. Your number 5 worst. You gave 3 stars and a like on Letterboxd.
Yeah,
But
I think this
Like
is
I
actually
said-
his 5th feature,
I think he had a.
4th major release. But I don't know. Whiplash might not be a major release.
I think his first one wasn't a wide release.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
No, it's Whiplash.
I
Then La
think
La
he has-
Land. Then
No, he has another full
I
length.
think he might have
movie, I
something
think.
right before it.
No.
That's not like.
the only thing he did before that was the Whiplash short film.
I don't think so. I think there's something,
about
but
that.
this doesn't really matter.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so you were saying, yeah, Damien.
Okay, so Damien Chazelle, I'm
His
a big
4th
fan
or
of his. I think First Man is good. I think La La Land and Whiplash are great.
Yeah. I agree.
So I was very excited for this movie. And then I went to see it. Part of what maybe I would have come out a little warmer on it if I had seen it with you guys.
Yeah,
but I saw it alone.
I definitely can add to the vibe. I agree.
And just the first 30 minutes just pissed me off.
Yeah.
And I was sick of watching it.
Yeah, the big party sequence.
So they have the
goes
big
a
party
long time.
sequence, and that goes on for
Yeah,
a long time.
it does. In the elephant
And
show.
the first thing you see is a man get shit on, and then like 5 minutes later you see a different man get pissed on,
Yeah.
and it just keeps going. And I was like, okay, like
I was like, that's a vibe.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it. I don't
Yeah.
care. I really did like some aspects of the movie, which I think maybe the positives we can talk about.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's on your best lists.
Yeah.
Maybe no.
We'll get into it.
Well, I don't want to
We'll get into it.
leave anything unsaid unless we're
Save
gonna
your
come back to
positives
it.
for later.
Yeah.
Talk
Thank
about
you.
Talk about what you don't like.
Thank
now.
you. Okay,
Yeah.
so Margot Robbie, save for one scene or one bit towards the middle or towards the beginning, I thought she was really bad and cringe. Not to say cringe, but
Yeah,
there
I
you
get
go.
you.
It was very like Harley Quinn. It was very like Marilyn Monroe, but like not real Marilyn Monroe. Like
Yeah. I was thinking about her too in the movie.
like the fake idea of her as
Yeah.
like a starlet.
yeah.
Well, I think she was based off Clara Bow, who was like from, like a star from around
The
that
actual
time.
20s.
Yeah. I think that's who she
Or
was
actual
based off.
silent film
Yeah,
era. I don't know. She just came off very cringe to me. I did like. I'll say there's a big portion of the movie where she's bad, in my opinion. I think the movie trails off a lot. A lot of things don't feel consistent. I think if the movie was a little shorter and it was more focused on the main character, or who I consider to be the main character, I guess. I don't know who the movie thinks is the main character, but I would say it's the Mexican guy. I forget his name. Do you remember his name? Manny. Yeah, I would say if the movie focused on Manny, I would probably like it a lot more.
Yeah, I agree with that. If it was like a little like more like their relationship, like Margot and his relationship. Like there's times where like it was a lot like Forrest Gump, where this relationship like follows him throughout his life in the film career. I think if they like made it like a little bit more like that's like the love of his life. Like I didn't really get that 100%. Like I didn't like feel like all the time like he was in love with her whenever she was around. It felt more like he was her boss.
Yeah,
which that is what it was too. And I like that about the movie. We'll get into it later, that he was her boss, and that kind of was like the downfall of it too.
Yeah.
But I do wish they honed in a little more of like he loves her so much, because ever since that first night that he met her, he's been in love with her.
Yeah. And I did like that aspect of the movie, and especially that callback later. That was good. But I think if you centered the movie around him, where it's like Brad Pitt, I feel like they make Brad Pitt, the jazz player, the Margot Robbie character, they make them all kind of set up as like a main character, but I think they should all be supporting characters to Manny.
Yeah, I see. I know what movie you're looking for. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I think it would have been better.
I will say, I think it was fine how it was, because it reminded me like kind of like Boogie Nights, where it's like Mark Wahlberg's kind of the main character, but the rest of the characters kind of get like some equal shine.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. It didn't bother. I didn't think it needed like a focus on a specific character personally, because I feel like that kind of would have, at least for me, I think that would have like kind of weakened the message of the movie.
Yeah.
What's the message of the movie?
Well, like kind of just like a study on like the rise and fall of these different stars. If you focused on him, who wasn't even really a star, I don't think it would have been. You know, I mean, I shouldn't say the message of the movie. Sorry, that was bad wording, but like, I guess I don't know if I say the point. Just kind of what what the movie is about.
One of the things
personally, because it wouldn't have worked, especially about the whole like rebirth thing.
Yeah.
Like, you got to have the stars having a decent amount of the screen time, because why would you focus on the guy who wasn't really even?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
definitely get more into it later.
I don't know. I guess I wouldn't say the movie to me feels like it's just about Hollywood.
Yeah,
not like the stars. So I don't think. And I think having it centered around like a higher up, like
that's true, but it's like they're kind of like the vessels for that, using the stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. But in my opinion, so I think probably we would all agree that the jazz player is like the least utilized of like
for
the main
sure
characters. It feels to me like having everyone have like a short story, it kind of like draws away from everyone else, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think if you gave him more to do, maybe gave Brad Pitt a little less to do, I think Margot Robbie, you could probably keep her about the same.
Yeah. I see like what the movie you want is like with Manny Moore like, as the lead character,
just more focused.
His story in Hollywood and how it affected him and everything.
And because the movie is bookended with him too.
Yes,
so it's
I agree. Yeah,
I think that would be more impactful if it was like this is dead ass like distinctly his story.
Yeah.
But there are some good things that I do like about it.
That we may get into later.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
we'll get into a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I will say, I just wanted to say real quick, that is an example of the way I was ranking them is not based on like, oh, like Minions is so bad.
Yeah,
like,
just like
I wanted to just talk about specifically.
I know what you mean.
Things that affected me.
It's easy to watch. Like, I watched like that stupid like Gaten Mazzarato and like Honor Society. And like, that's what it always was going to be, is this stupid like Nickelodeon movie. It was never trying to be better than this, and it was never going to be better than this. So why would this be on my worst list? And like some little, it wasn't even that bad either. But it's not.
It would be something easy to just shit on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about stuff that actually matters
to shit on. I agree. It actually left an impact on how bad it was.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want to do your number 4?
Yeah. So my number 4 on this list. Let me see. So my number 4 on this list is Thor. Thor is Thor. Thor 4 is number 4 on my list.
Yeah, fitting.
Poetry almost.
This movie really broke me as an MCU fan. It really did. I was already
that's a video essay right there.
With already the shitty ass shows, how bad I liked WandaVision, Falcon enough. Loki completely lost my interest in it. Or Hawkeye completely lost my interest. What If didn't have anything really special in it that made me that interested. Moon Knight, I watched a little bit of it, completely lost my interest. Saw some of Miss Marvel like through YouTube, and I didn't like it. And She-Hulk absolutely killed this with Thor.
Yeah.
But this movie was so bad, so stupid, so annoying. The goat screaming, I hated that. I hated Chris Hemsworth as Thor. This was easily his worst, by a mile, his worst appearance as Thor in the MCU, because he's so stupid, he's annoying, you don't like him, you just want, he doesn't do anything in this movie besides just make stupid humor. It's the MCU throwing in another kid actor to take over the eventual Thor role because they want to keep going forever, and so now it's going to be Kid Thor to take over eventually with Gore. Christian Bale completely wasted. A great actor just put in this stupid role as a villain that never has any kills on screen. He has one kill of this god that's an asshole, so you don't even feel bad for him when he kills him. You don't even feel bad when he kills. You think he's the good guy for killing this guy. He never has an actual kill where you're like, bro, like you just killed like. one of these gods. He should have been building up Zeus as like this guy that was really great.
But wasn't Zeus a piece of shit in it too?
He is. He should have been building. And Thor's the one to defeat Zeus.
He was like Hedonist Bot from Futurama.
Thor's the one.
Hedonist Bot.
Yeah. Thor's the one to defeat Zeus. It's not even Gore that kills Zeus. It's Thor to defeat Zeus because he's an asshole. Because all the gods are an asshole. Should have been Zeus is like this amazing guy that like they all love, and even Thor. He had a great. They're living in like the city of the gods for a little bit. Like they're showing Natalie Portman this because they want to get her healed from her cancer, and they should be staying there. And Zeus is a great god. And Gore comes and kills Zeus, and he's not a bad guy. You know what I mean? You actually feel bad for him that when he dies, and Hercules can be trying to avenge him, and maybe it's a misinterpreting that Thor did this to get something to save Natalie, some type of that thunderbolt, because Thor uses it in the movie. Maybe it was a misunderstanding that he was trying to get the thunderbolt to save Natalie Portman's character. It's not easy to come up with something off the top of your head.
Yeah,
that's better than as shitty as it is that all the gods are evil. You don't even Gore's not a bad guy.
Literally,
he's not even a bad guy in the movie.
There's a pantheon of gods where they all kind of like live together for some reason.
Yeah.
But none of the Greek
with
gods.
Stupid gods, the sushi roll god and all that.
That's real.
What is it? It's,
I didn't see the movie. For
what
the
is
record,
it? Do you remember what the stupid like fucking anime cameo is? Like,
I don't know.
It's literally like the sushi roll god or something like that. Like,
it's like a Japanese mascot or something.
Yeah.
But it is really bad. It's also my number 4.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, when I was thinking of some of the things I liked in this movie, it has that like black and white sequence that's just like decent, I guess. That means nothing because it's so easy to make that with these $250 million budgets. It's not that hard to make one of your scenes look good. But I'm just thinking, like, okay, that was kind of cool. Like, that's why it was a little lower on my list than like number 1 or something.
Well, I'll just say too. Let's just talk about Thor for a second, and then we can let Evan go, and we'll go back to your number.
I was gonna say because you're 4.
Number 3.
Yeah, we'll talk about it together.
So I'll say the number 1 thing about this movie that I hated was the visual effects.
It's so bad.
If you're gonna make a movie like this,
well, they were a meme. They were literally a meme. The visual effects of the movie. They've become a meme.
I hate that joke where he's like, "I'm Axel now." Like I'm named after my favorite Guns N' Roses. It was nothing. That didn't work.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do you remember that scene where he comes in as like a kid, like the
Idris Elba's son?
Yeah, Idris Elba's son, and like Thor's like, "You're named after your father, a great warrior," and he's like, "No, I'm going by Axel now, the great warrior of Guns N' Roses." It was such a stupid joke, so I don't blame you for remembering it, but yeah, that was like the scene where he's that stupid head.
Almost every joke in the movie is that unfunny.
Every joke is terrible.
But the main thing for me is like it's a Thor movie. That should be like, this is like the visual effects spectacle of Marvel.
Yeah, it should be
like,
like Guardians of the Galaxy
crazy
level
cosmic
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
Crazy fight scenes between gods. Like that's, you should be going hard on the special effects
for sure.
And that black kid, pardon my French, that black kid. As like a PNG, a transparent PNG, like in Thor's bathroom.
Yeah,
that's not even the worst special effect
you're
in the
right,
movie.
You're right. It's not.
That one became the meme, but everything looked really bad to me. And I remember I saw it with my good friend Brandon, and he liked that scene too, like the black and white scene. I was like, this looks like shit.
It's
like,
easy as fuck to make that with a $250 million budget. It's not that hard to make.
And it was like a little like.
What if we made
Little
this
Planet
scene
or something?
Black and white and it's not.
I
Mario
hated
Galaxy.
I hated it.
Taika Waititi played Mario Galaxy and was like, all right,
yeah, for sure,
it's
for
nothing
real.
special. Yeah, I hated it. I hated every minute
like
of
you're
watching
saying,
it. It broke me because I liked Doctor Strange too. I didn't actually hate Doctor Strange. I actually had a good time watching that. This one,
I don't think
any goodwill Doctor Strange got me, which is not much. Thor took it away and even more, even more than No Way Home. And I was hot off of No Way Home. No Way Home was my second favorite movie of last year. I'm not necessarily, I wasn't like that hateful of the MCU up until like Thor, which really was just like, God, this is fucking terrible. It's the worst parts of the MCU really come together.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that feel that way about Thor too.
Yeah, everyone hates Thor.
That's disillusioned a lot of people to Marvel, I think, or at least a lot more than there were.
Yeah. Then it's like you already knew it was happening, so I can't say that there's anything new. Like there was always terrible jokes. It's just everything is amplified to like a times 11, and it's like finally at the point where it's like I can't do much more of this. Like I can't do much more. I can't do any more of this. This is it.
None of us saw Black Panther.
No. Yeah, it genuinely made me say I don't want anything to do with Marvel. Like I'm still gonna see Ant-Man and Guardians next year. I don't know, and if those are shitty, I mean, I don't even if those are good. I don't know if I'll see the Marvels because I don't really care that much about that. But
I'll see Guardians because it's like I like the first two, and I kind of see that as like a trilogy on its own.
I agree.
But
I'm already done.
it's
I'm not watching it.
It's terrible. Thor was so disappointing and terrible.
I did want to mention about Thor. He's doing like 3 different things that are like supervillain plots, and you don't really see any of it because at some point during the movie,
avenge his daughter.
I didn't see the movie. I don't know.
Yeah. Avenge his daughter, get revenge on the people that wronged him. You know, all these stupid tropes that any supervillain has, and they're all half-assed with him.
Because he specifically, I think he wants to kill Thor, but he also wants to kill all the gods.
Yeah.
But he also wants to get the wishing stone or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, you're right, eternity.
And he also wants to.
It's all this stuff that you're right.
I don't know. I think he wanted to do a third thing as well, but there's also the factor that like halfway through the movie. Fucking I think Valkyrie or something like he's already killed 7 gods, and it's like, bitch, where? Like,
yeah.
And then you don't see him kill. I don't think any gods in the whole movie except that first one in his origin story.
The first one. That's the only.
They show
one
his origin story, and
which
he's not good.
He's not even a bad guy in it. It's that God is an asshole. If you remember, right? Like, God's like playing with him and everything. Like you don't even fucking like feel bad. Like,
because him and his daughter are starving to death, and he's like, please God, like I pray to you and like worship you and give you all my possessions to worship you.
It should have been.
And then he's like, you think I give you food, you stupid.
Yeah, he's like, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's stupid. It should have been like this God like nurtured him and like took him back to life, and like
he betrays him for power or something.
Is he has the sword and he kills the one man that like took it. Like there should be some symbolization between like why he resents the gods and this sword and that God that like took care of him or something. It just, you never feel like the gods are even bad or not. Like he's the good guy. Like all the gods are the bad guys. I mean, like they're all fucking assholes. Like he's fucking doing everyone a favor.
It's very.
Maybe that was the point.
It's very weak writing.
It's a take on modern day politics. Like we need to rise together and take out all these politicians are assholes.
At the end, there's this element of like Thor's like Gore was right. Like we're not good enough.
And
it's
even
like
Thor,
like when have you ever like answered prayers?
I know, right?
You don't have like worshipers. Like so, what do you mean he was right? Like you have never operated as a religious god.
Yeah.
Ever. But then like this one movie like introduces all this like these god concepts. I don't know. But it's a terrible movie.
It is a terrible movie. It's I don't want to say it's my least favorite MCU movie because I might dislike Black Widow and Eternals more. But
Eternals is my least favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might dislike those more, but Thor is definitely in the top 3 of my least favorite ever. I absolutely hate this movie.
Honestly, Black Widow is like, okay.
I
like
hate
Florence
Black
Pugh and Scarlett Johansson.
I hate Florence Pugh in it.
But in Thor... In Thor and Eternals, there's nothing going on.
I hate
for anyone.
I hate what is it, Lady Thor, the Mighty Thor. I hate the Mighty Thor. The powers make no sense. In one scene, it's that if she's holding the hammer, then that's how she gets the powers, and if she drops it immediately, she loses the powers. In one scene, the hammer can be left alone, and Thor is fucking flirting with his hammer, like, oh, so I see you found.
Yeah, that was like the first time that they were like
so
animate objects.
Stupid. and the fucking Stormbreaker's getting jealous and all that. Like that was funny the first time, and that joke comes up a million times in the movie. That's every joke in the movie. I didn't like the goat joke the first time I saw it, let alone the 10th time they make that joke. Every joke is told 10 times. Even if I found it funny, like the fucking Stormbreaker being jealous the first time, it overstays its welcome immediately, and it's completely unenjoyable.
Yeah, it is a grating, annoying, unentertaining movie.
Horrible.
Bad movie.
The worst Thor movie.
Easily. And God bless you, Evan, for not having seen it.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I was going to say, so I didn't see it, but I will say this. I felt like things finally came full circle for me in terms of Thor. Because I always was like, I've always been a defender of Thor 1 and 2. And then after Love and Thunder, people were like, bro, go bring back the old Thor. And even Chris Hemsworth
He's
was
a
like...
clown!
He was like...
He literally said after Ragnarok, he was like, I'm not doing Thor unless it's Taika Waititi doing it. Now he's like, I think we need to bring back the essentials of Thor. Like, he's a clown,
so it's like, so I feel like I would kind of, I kind of took a dub in terms of Thor.
Vindicated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel vindicated.
Will say, if Taika Waititi had more creative control, which I'm assuming he didn't have, and if he had a
I don't
budget,
know about that, honestly.
Let me finish my sentence. Okay. I think he would have turned out a better movie if he had more creative control and an actual budget.
I don't know. I think he just fucking like phoned it in and didn't give a fuck about what he was making it.
Well, yeah, because you saw the interview with him on
the
Variety
interviews,
where he was like laughing at how bad it was.
He saw Ragnarok worked and he was like, "Fuck it, let's just make some stupid shit like
I
this
think
again and
the
get
reason
money."
he was laughing is because he was like, well, like I'm just in this shit, like I have no control over how like the effects turn out after I've filmed my shit, and like apparently they cut out a bunch of stuff which I don't think would have saved the movie, but.
I still like Taika, even after this. I'm a fan of What We Do in the Shadows and Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, those are both
good
movies.
And a lot of the stuff he's done, and even Ragnarok I like. And like, so I'm not against him now.
I'm not quick to blame any talent in the MCU because I think a lot of that falls on the higher ups.
Yeah. I agree.
Disney.
Yeah.
So I'm still
on his side, but he's not really.
But I think
more so my point was that he would never be my choice to do Thor, just in general.
No, I agree with that. But I think the fact that it's like, okay, we're gonna focus on comedy, and then the fact that the MCU is so unfunny.
Yeah, it's so unfunny already.
You're no longer backed up with like, even in Ragnarok back then, the effects were better. So it's like you're not backed up by like a standard kind of structure of a story, and you're not backed up by good special effects or like good choreography or anything like that. So having the backbone of it be comedy just made it worse.
Oh, okay.
Like even worse than Ragnarok.
Well, yeah, Thor.
But I think that's enough Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, that's enough on
What do you got?
It is definitely my number 4 least favorite.
My number 4 is Lightyear.
Okay.
Terrible movie.
Like your number, for Thor, I didn't see Lightyear, so I can't say anything about this. But I know the twist. I saw a lot of shit on it. It looks absolutely terrible.
Yeah, Lightyear was terrible.
Disney takes
again. So you take it's kind of like X in a way, where it has like what sounds like would be an exciting concept.
Yeah.
But it's really boring. So it's like they try to make like The Martian with Buzz Lightyear. And it's like, yeah, but it's like when you watch Toy Story 1, Buzz is like,
he's excited.
He's like
fucking Flash Gordon. Like,
exactly.
Rogers. Yeah,
exactly.
Buck Rogers.
And then the fact that Buzz Lightyear is based off this movie, it doesn't add up with his character in Toy Story.
No.
Not, I mean, I know that doesn't have so much to do with this movie.
Yeah.
Specifically, but still, it's worse that it like ruins the Toy Story canon.
Well, I think there is you're allowed to be mad at you fuck the characters.
No, I agree. I'm just saying that makes it worse.
You have to understand.
No, I'm saying what you're saying is valid. That's all
yeah.
The Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story is based off of Lightyear 3. Where Buzz finally is the character we've been waiting for.
They did not say
the belt.
Yeah,
the reason that is not true is because they specifically say at the beginning. They give you the fucking
He saw this fucking movie.
They did not need to open the movie like that, but
that was just like a last ditch attempt to validate the movie.
I guess
it was.
I hate the idea of it too. I know you said the idea.
No, I agree.
Good.
Well, I mean, like the cartoon was cool. That's what I mean.
I don't mind.
I never wanted a Lightyear solo movie.
I don't mind Buzz Lightyear backstory in that like a kid's cartoon, like it's fun like that with his Space Ranger fans. That's good. He's like a Space Ranger. That's how it should be. The fucking when he's a Space Ranger, that should be the story that's told. Not this shitty backstory of him being depressing and how to be friends. Like how he can learn to let teammates fail. Isn't that what he learned how to let teammates help him out and all that stuff.
It's like he's trying to do too much by himself.
Yeah, he's trying.
Whatever. That's a fine message, but it's like okay, but the other characters suck in this movie.
Yeah. There's not a single good character in the movie.
And then so all of our number 4s involve Taika Waititi because he voiced one of the
Disney.
He voiced one of the characters.
This is actually my number 1.
Oh, and it's your number 1? Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get more into it in a little bit when it's at your 1.
Yeah, this movie is just. It was god awful, and then it had that terrible trope where he gets the iconic belt at the end of the movie.
Oh, he doesn't get the belt, does he?
Oh, he gets the
jetpack.
The jetpack, whatever.
Yeah.
He gets it at the end of the movie, and he has the full fit at the end of the movie.
The crazy
that was
thing
really bad, and they're all wearing the green and white and purple fucking.
That's
at the very end.
That's like the little. Bumper it's not like a post-credit scene, but it's like the very
end. When they're shooting off into space and they're all
it's
in the same.
Okay, here we go on a new adventure.
And then it's the end of Star Trek 09. It's like now let's take off on our adventures.
Yeah, and then it's like again this movie is just.
Y'all know anyone in Guatemala?
Huh?
Y'all know anyone in Guatemala?
No, I don't.
No. I know a couple people.
I really don't even like talking about this because I don't want to get into the whole political thing. But there is it definitely has an element of the hero is actually bad because he doesn't want to work with his diverse group of friends. That's definitely a thing in the movie because the twist of the movie is that Zurg is actually Buzz.
Oh my God.
If he didn't, if he keeps being selfish Buzz, he is Zurg, and then that also ruins Toy Story lore because
it does. That's not canon. That does not ruin Toy Story lore.
Well, I'm just saying Zurg should be his father. And then me and Dylan talked about how
that could have been fun. That could have been a reveal in and of itself. Like, shit, that was always true. It's not just a Star Wars parody. Like, he really is his father in this crazy backstory of Buzz Lightyear.
But they could have made it true, and still they could have used the same plot they were going with, and still had made.
It could have been,
Buzz be.
Yeah, like what if?
Because he's like looking for Buzz and all that. He's like, we've been looking so long to rescue you guys, whatever.
Yeah, what if Buzz's dad all this time he was like a higher up in Star Command?
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's like, oh hey, like I've been working on the same thing and I'm about to like fix it right now.
Yeah.
And then Buzz is like, no, fuck you, Dad. Like, that at least would have been something. But my main problem with the whole movie is very simple. Buzz Lightyear, like we were saying, he's like Buck Rogers, or something like that. Like, he's a pulpy action character.
Yeah.
And in the actual, if you watch Toy Story, that's not like a property. It's like a He-Man.
Yeah. It's like he's a toy, and then it became a movie.
Yeah.
Then they ruined that too.
He's not a fucking.
He's like one of those '80s style toys where it's like all the other shit came later.
Yeah.
So it's like he should always be focused on action.
Yeah.
And my good friend Xavier, shout out to Xavier. He's a huge Buzz Lightyear fan, and I had to tell him, like, don't see this movie. Yeah. Because it sucks. Because you want to see, like, if you're a huge Buzz Lightyear fan from when you were 5, you want to see Buzz, like, blow up robots with his laser and fly around. Yeah. And that doesn't happen in the movie.
But yeah, Lightyear was
just a terrible, stupid idea from the premise.
Exactly,
from the get-go.
And it very boring. The character sucked.
Can I mention content?
You ruined the character. So.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay.
Well, I was just gonna say
it's okay. It's my time, but you didn't.
Well, we're sharing. It's not like we're gonna come back to Lightyear, because it's later on my list.
No,
what was I gonna say? Fuck, I interrupted you for no reason. I don't remember.
It is a terrible, horrible. That's the Pixar movie that they decided to release this year.
Yeah. Fucking on a different podcast to steal someone else's content. They mentioned that. What if this is like the gritty reboot of Buzz Lightyear that would have been made in like 2010? Yeah,
maybe.
Like in universe in Pixar?
Yeah.
That's better. That makes me feel better about it.
That makes me hate it more.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel no.
I hate everything. I just hate the.
I just don't want this to be the source material because it's like that. This would never be the source material.
It's not the source material. Think about this. Toy Story was made 25 years ago. This was never in the ideas of John Lasseter. That great non-cancelable man. Like this is not canon. This is essentially it's like when the son takes over like the father's like great novel series.
Yeah.
Like this had nothing to do with the people who made Toy Story. This is some stupid bullshit that never is canon.
Yeah, and
it's New Age Star Trek. It's literally new the sequel series without George Lucas or something. Like it's really is that like John Lasseter is not involved or anything. Like
it's what would you say is less canon to you? Like which do you want? If you could erase one from existence, which would you erase? Toy Story 4 or this?
Definitely this personally.
That's a loaded question.
How is it loaded?
That's a loaded question because there's a lot to think about there. There's a lot of different facets.
Well, loaded
for me to think
I think
about.
Loaded question means like
this is easier to write
pushing
off.
you to pick one answer.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's this or that.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
I'd say Toy Story 4.
Yeah, I kind of agree because this is easier to write off. Now that I think about it,
that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, this is a worse movie, Lightyear. But Toy Story 4 is like actually in the Toy Story universe.
Exactly.
And like ruined
like
Woody.
Toys.
You're right.
Yeah.
I might choose 4 actually.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
I kind of agree.
I would choose 4, I think.
All right.
Well, but yeah, moving right along.
All right. Well, you chose Thor as your number 4, correct?
Yeah.
Thor, Dylan is your number 4.
Yeah. So we just did Thor.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're number 3, Andy.
So my number 3 is going to be Scream 6.
Oh.
Or Scream 5.
Yeah, I was like, you're getting ahead of yourself. You're on your most anticipated. You're looking at your most anticipated.
You're right. I got mixed up. You're right. This one I'm not going to be too long on because this was like literally a year ago. Like I saw it last January.
It was early, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember too much about it, but I hated this movie. I don't want to spoil too much in case you ever watch it too, but
please just spoil it.
Well, no, I'm working through the Scream series, because I watched the first 2 and I'm about to watch 3 soon.
The twist on the the killers, on who it is ridiculous, on starters. The motivation behind why they're doing it is the most ridiculous motivation I've ever seen in a horror movie in my entire life. That's not like some like little like $5 movie, you know, like a big budget horror movie that was put in theaters.
A franchise
movie like series. Like this is the most ridiculous, stupid, horrible motivation that is lazy, that is just someone who spent like a fucking like on Reddit, it's literally a Redditor that like reads the internet and how like they think stuff is, and it's like it's just absolutely it's stupid. It's simply stupid. And not to mention horror movies, they're already kind of hard to like them if it's not something original like Midsommar or something. Like these franchise movies are already stupid as fuck. Like it'll never live up to the first game. I hate what this does with the legacy characters. It kills certain characters that really pisses me off. That just makes me like pissed off. They're gonna be back too later on. It's gonna be some fucking fake shit. But if they do never come back, like it pisses me off that they killed these characters. I hate the new characters. They just redo it. The movie starts with the exact same thing that all the movies start with. The girl talking on the phone, but this time it's supposed to be new and original, and it's Jenna Ortega.
What's a smartphone now?
Yeah, exactly. And he's asking like fucking like, what's your letterbox? Like stupid, like stupid 21st century film stuff. Like this would be I think my main problem with this is like it thinks it's smart, but any of us could write this movie.
Yeah.
If I set you down right now and I was like, make the new Scream movie, it's like, all right, we gotta ask her what's her letterbox in like the beginning.
Give me more credit. I don't think I would break that bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. No,
well, like in a night, like in a night,
no,
right?
I
get what you mean though.
Yeah,
it's like
easy, lazy.
it's just being translated directly into like.
I guess I'm saying like. You could ask anyone to write this, like non-professional streamer, anyone who just spent time on the internet, like just some basic ass person, like some like.
I was joking, but
you could ask fucking John Campia to write this shit, and he could write it. Like, you know, it's just like one of these things, like it's nothing like deeper meaning behind it. Where I think it has it. It's boring. The kills are stupid. It shits on old characters that you love. I hate the motivation behind the characters. I hate that it was successful, and now they're making Scream 6 and 7 and all this stupid bullshit again, because it's going to be like Halloween, where it's just they get progressively worse and terrible.
Yeah.
And it's just nothing.
No franchise ever got good on the 7th installment.
Yeah,
well, actually, I don't know. Fast and Furious. That's like when they started getting like.
That was on 5. It kind of got big. But I hated Scream. It was when I saw it. I kind of wish I watched it again on this, because it might be higher. But when I saw this, I legitimately walked out, and this was like, I remember thinking this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I hate it because the motivation behind the killer is so bad.
You messaged us like, oh yeah, like I just saw Scream. I'm pissed off. Like
I was something else happened that day, and I can't remember what it was, but I was so mad. I went to my favorite Mexican restaurant. I remember, and the waiter was so good, and it was a busy ass night. I remember, and he was so good and got us the food right on time and everything. I gave him like a $50 tip or something because I had such a shitty time in Scream 5. And I remember I gave him like a $50 tip, and I wrote on the menu. I was like, dude, like I just had like the worst day of my life. Like you made my day so much better, because like I this movie, like I left the movie and I was in a horrible mood after the movie.
It hurt you beyond just like a normal, like that was bad movie.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I like Scream 2, so maybe that's a little bit more like I love Scream 1. I have good memories even with Scream 4, seeing it when we were kids in the mall, you know what I mean? Like, it was a good time, and there's none of the Scream movies I really hate. Like, I like 2, I like 3, I like 4.
Wait, so this Jenna Ortega one was 6?
This was 5.
5.
They're making 6
6
next
is
year.
the 2023
Yeah,
one.
that's the one like in Manhattan.
That's the one on our most anticipated list.
Yeah. We all have it as number 1.
Yes. So this was the first Scream movie where I really hated it too. It's not like these other franchises where they were already kind of bad. Like Halloween, like even though Halloween is shit now, it's been shit 3-4 times. You know what I mean? So this is the first one I was like, God, they fucked Scream up like already. Like, and some may say it was fucked up at 4 and 3 and all that shit. So I guess that's just personal taste. But
I hear
this is all personal taste.
From what I hear, no one really hates any of the Scream movies in particular.
Yeah,
I hear 2 is really good. And
I know 3 is get 3 got shit on a little bit.
I like 2 because like makes fun of the first one. Like it's like the retelling of it.
I did enjoy 2. 2 was fun.
I watched 2, but I didn't like. 1 is like visceral, like it's a great
I didn't remember the whole movie.
But Scream 2, I did watch it, but
I couldn't say
only in retrospect I've heard good things, and I was like, was it that good?
I enjoyed it. It was just fun. It's not like as intelligent.
Because someone online was like, oh, it like deconstructs the sequel and what it means to be a sequel, and I was like, did it? Like I don't really remember that.
So, really disappointed with this movie. Really let down. This was the epitome of the shitty January movie that somehow was successful, and now the next one's coming out in like April or something.
That's going to be Megan this year.
Yeah, now that they have a little bit more... Yeah, and Megan's going to fucking make money.
Can't wait for Megan 2 in 2024.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to green like that, so... I wish I watched this movie a little bit. I couldn't. Like I could. You could never force me to watch this movie again. But if I did watch it recently, it may be even a little higher because I remember. I remember it being so fucking shitty. In retrospect, I'm like, okay, it was just a shitty horror movie. But looking back, I'm like, all right, this is shit.
I think you have to take it into account though. Like, if it does affect you that much in the moment, where you're like, this ruined my day.
It was definitely
pretty bad.
It was definitely the worst I felt after a movie. Like seeing anything this year. It was the worst I felt after. I was like, God, I hated this.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, thank you for saving me from seeing Scream 6.
Yes.
Scream 5. Well,
I'm sure I'll see it eventually.
And whenever you see it, I'm sorry. You'll look back on. You can rewatch the podcast for my thoughts on it. Be like, he was right.
You're right.
He was right there. Yeah. All right. Well, that's my number 3.
My number 3 is so you guys were mentioning Thor, and so I also have an MCU movie. My number 3 is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and this one hurt a little bit more for me because obviously I love Sam Raimi, and Sam Raimi's name is attached on this movie
very heavily.
He was promoted.
It's not just like the 6-6 or whatever next year where he's like a producer.
He's
directed.
He's directed it. Yeah. Just a terrible movie. So it's called In the Multiverse of Madness. So you expect like something big. It's gonna be crazy, you know, like kind of what like they're hyping up for Secret Wars now. That was kind of what this movie.
Yeah. Kind of what
you're right. This whole little
Quantumania.
You're right. This whole little like Doctor Strange, WandaVision, No Way Home, like this little trilogy was supposed to be what Secret Wars was. It was like, oh, the multiverse is like broken out into control and we gotta save it and everything. Now it's the whole saga. Now Secret Wars is gonna be that. It's so true.
So it's called In the Multiverse of Madness, but you literally only have one. It takes place in 2 universes: the normal MCU universe and then whatever
American
universe
Chavez was,
the flower one.
And so you only get like a Multiverse of Madness for like 10 seconds when they're going through, and it's all stupid shit like the paper universe and the paint universe. And it's like, well, if you know Sam Raimi, he's a very visual director. And so, like, he, you know, if you put him in his element, he could have didn't pull off something really great there.
But they had those blips into other universes filmed 6 months before they
hired Sam Raimi.
Yes, they already had it written down what they were going to do. Like, they already had an AI-generated fucking, like, the paint world and the cartoon world.
Exactly, it's all stupid
one of them
shit.
That looks like a comic book. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
It was just terrible. And then the action sequences were really bad. Nothing to write home there. Obviously, terrible CGI. That's what you expect at this point.
Stupid Gleep Glop, one-eyed monster. Like it's supposedly big in the comics. Like
it was supposed to be like Shumagorath, but they couldn't name it Shumagorath, so they called it the other one-eyed monster.
I think Shumagorath is like the film rights are technically like Universal.
It's something like that.
I want to go back to what executive meeting they're like, yo, we're gonna need the Shumagorath rights. Like this is coming up in Hulk 3. He's fighting Shumagorath.
Well, I mean that would have been cool because Shumagorath is kind of an iconic Doctor Strange villain, and the title is taken from H.P. Lovecraft, and Shumagorath is based off like H.P. Lovecraft old ones. So that would have been cool. And then, like again,
shitty
and then again Sam Raimi.
There's some like good surface level like set dressing.
Exactly.
That was probably helped by Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
But the actual meat of the movie
that's what I'm saying. Like it's not well done or anything.
It's that typical cookie cutter Marvel stuff, and they just let Sam sprinkle his little...
He could do a cool zoom in on the eye.
So it's like, and then when you see like, there is like some Sam Raimi editing and camera work in it, but it's very neutered.
Yes.
And people are like, oh my god, this is like classic Sam Raimi. But it's like, no, it's not, because it's like, oh, they zoom in on Black Bolt's face, because you never see zoom ins like that on in the MCU. But he's known for very like hard zooms, and this like a very soft one. You know what I mean?
It feels like they told him like, okay, there are like kids with epilepsy. Like we need to slow down the zoom like a little bit. Is that okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the writing was obviously terrible.
Yeah.
The Illuminati again is like, oh, you have a chance to do something really cool there, but it's really which could just kind of like promo for like their like what if and like future movie, the Marvel shit like that. Yeah, and then when she fights the Illuminati, that was horrible. Wanda was a really shitty villain.
I hated American Chavez. Just
yeah, she sucked.
Such a MacGuffin. Like
exactly, she was such a nothing character.
I was saying earlier why I hate the MCU now, and even though I didn't hate Doctor Strange, I hate what she stands for because she's just like we can like She-Hulk. She can travel outside of the fucking universe, like outside of the fourth wall now. American Chavez can travel through the multiverse whenever she wants. Like, all these characters are just insane. They can time travel. They can go into the quantum realm. Like, they're just the stupidest MacGuffins to get characters out of hard situations now. And I hate these characters that are the representation. Like, she's literally the multiverse traveler. That should not be a fucking hero. Like, that should not be a power.
Well,
like,
I mean...
I agree, Andy.
One thing about that... I do agree they're getting very lazy about that shit with the current like new crop of heroes, but Doctor Strange can already do that. You know?
Yeah.
He can already go wherever he wants. So she's a pretty useless addition.
She is. She's just gonna, because it's gonna be when Benedict Cumberbatch retires, and 5-10 years after Secret Wars.
Someone needs to bring them into Secret Wars too. So.
Yeah. So she'll take over because she's like and she'll be the new Doctor Strange. She'll be the new fucking.
Well, she's not gonna be a Doctor Strange. She's just like some random.
Just wait on
character.
Yeah,
and the comic written.
She's not like magic.
Wait,
though.
the comic written this year in 2023 will be a story of her becoming Doctor Strange. So then in 2000.
Well, she was studying at the magic shit at the end.
Then in 2020,
you're right.
Yeah, she was.
When Benedict Cumberbatch retires, it'll be like, oh, they've been writing this in the comics for 5 years now. It's all good. Like,
I have a pitch.
Like,
okay, so you have America Chavez, Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
Okay, this is 29. And her Wong is Ned Leeds.
Ned Leeds? Why, I mean... That could happen. I mean, she was
Way
supposed to be
off.
in No Way Home, and they cut that out.
oh,
so
you're right.
yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
She opened up a little portal and dropped that ring onto Ned's finger.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh my God.
that didn't happen though. But yeah, just a terrible movie. Like I said, Wanda was a really bad video.
Long and boring. And
Was it long? I don't even think it was 2 hours. I don't even think it did 2 hours. But yeah,
it
was bad though.
I thought it was longer. Maybe the Black Panther one
It was certainly bad though.
It was almost because in Doctor Strange 1, they have I'm gonna show you the multiverse, Stephen Strange, and then she shoots him into the multiverse, and it's just like goo and like stuff floating around, and it's not like we want to see him fly past like a green Iron Man.
Yeah.
We don't want to see like a field of goo.
Yeah.
And then it still has that problem in the second one, even though this Mr. Fantastic and Professor X, but it still feels lazy like that first movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And another thing that was terrible about the movie is that it shits on the characters that they use. Like obviously they made Mr. Fantastic. I know it was a meme, like the smartest man in the year, and then he immediately reveals her weakness or whatever. Yeah, but that was terrible. He got owned in 1 second. Exactly. Professor X, that was really bad.
They kill. Yeah, it's so true.
And then it's the characters that we don't give a shit about, alternate Miss Marvel and alternate and
right.
Captain Britain or whatever her name is.
Like, who cares about the?
They're the ones who get the good action.
Rambo, Captain Marvel, and the. I mean, I kind of didn't. That was definitely the worst. Was the Captain Marvel? I liked Haley. What's her name?
I did not. Carter. Yeah, I thought that was bad.
I thought it was definitely bad. It was definitely bad. But I liked seeing her better than fucking.
I mean,
Captain Marvel.
I completely agree, but just the fact that you were saying is this Disney Plus shit?
Yeah,
and it's
Disney
they should.
Shit.
The only two that are there's 2 or 3 that I think are cool, but you would need the other ones to round it out. But
facts.
Professor X is technically a Disney Plus plug too because they're having the fucking '90s show come back.
Yeah,
and it's that version of Professor.
Yeah, with the yellow gold.
He's not the Fox one.
Yeah.
He's the animated one.
You're right.
And they let you know because they play the song twice.
That's true.
But
the golden wheelchair.
But they, Professor X, Black Bolt, and Mr. Fantastic's that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't want to see John Krasinski.
But they all get shit on.
But
they all get owned.
If that scene was cooler, it would be better. But it's just she shits on him so fast.
Yeah.
And it's this is what everyone bought a ticket for, and it's already over. And it's this shit sucks.
And then Baron Mordo, he was already terrible in the first one. He sucked in this one.
In this one so much. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well.
Yeah, that was
number 3.
a really not good movie.
That didn't quite make my top 5, but it was close.
Yeah, it was bad. And there was something else terrible I wanted to mention in it. The evil train scene, that was also really bad. And then just all of a sudden bringing his backstory about his sister, how that it didn't tie in with
I definitely,
the rest of the movie out.
I definitely
remember
don't remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't fucking remember that.
Exactly. Yeah, he's about his sister
meaningless.
dying on the
Nothing.
ice.
I just remember him getting
Nothing.
pushed out the window and being impaled on the fence.
Yes,
or
that's
whatever.
all I remember. I remember the music fight. That's all I remember.
So, yeah, Doctor Strange. That was my number 3.
That would have been my. If we were doing top 10, that would have been on mine.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, Dylan, you have a third one.
Okay, so this one, it's "Don't Worry, Darling,"
Yeah.
and I thought
That almost made my list, kind of.
It is,
what
or?
if we did top 10 and be on there? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
definitely was a top 10.
It would have been my number 7 because I put Uncharted as the dishonorable mention.
That would've
Don't
been your
worry.
next
Yeah,
one?
yeah, that would have been the next one. Yeah.
I just thought this movie looked good. It was interesting, but then when you watch the actual movie, it's
a whole lot of nothing.
It's very shallow.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's very shallow, and I think I called it pretty early. I don't want to toot my own horn or nothing.
It did have good cinematography. I mean, it had a
I
well-respected
will say-
cinematographer doing
looking
it.
at the
I will
California,
say-
yeah.
The visual elements of the movie were good,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm talking about the story.
Oh, okay.
And for a movie like Don't Worry, Darling, it's not like it's not like Avatar or like Transformers where it's like I'm only here for like to watch it, to see cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it's fucking Don't Worry, Darling. It's just people in suits, like
Yeah.
It's not like
the shtick was like it worked out fast.
I'm not getting my money's worth out of a visual spectacle of like a suburban 50s neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I will say you were right. I think the movie does look good. But just the story is very lame. It's very shallow.
It's a terrible Black Mirror episode.
Exactly.
That's what many people say, and I agree.
And I don't want to toot my own horn, Evan, but I did say, what movie is it? The Village. I was like, this is The Village. Like pretty early. I don't remember how early it was, but I was like, this is The Village, isn't it? And then I think you had already looked up the spoilers, and you were like, I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, it's The Village.
Well, I guess it is
But with AI.
Kind of.
But not AI. VR.
Virtual reality. Yeah.
It's The Village with VR. And I mean, like any movie, there's its positives and its negatives. For example, the whole Shia LaBeouf thing.
Well, Harry Styles was
Harry
terrible in the
is a
movie.
terrible,
Yeah, he was not good in it.
He's not even a terrible lead. He's a pretty bad actor.
Yeah, you're right. He's a terrible actor. I mean, he watching him like scream and try to be emotional and try to be deep, like it just didn't work at all. I didn't like watching him. It made me laugh and cringe. Like it's just like watching a little boy act. Honestly, I don't. He's like fucking like 27 or 28. So that's just me like remembering the One Direction in him. But like I watch him and I just feel like I'm watching a little boy. Exactly like Shia LaBeouf. Like if he was in that role, it was like a man. Like that's the
and
character.
you believe Shia LaBeouf getting mad at a woman?
Yeah. No, it's just when I watched Harry, I just felt like it was like a little boy screaming and trying to be dramatic and everything. I didn't buy that he was like actually.
I kind of agree. It feels like a wooden child performer.
Yeah, I just didn't. It didn't feel like he fit that role at all. Not to mention this twist is so ridiculously stupid.
I like seeing him greasy.
Yeah, the greasy hair.
I mean, that looked well. The makeup, the costume, and the cinematography were all.
This
pretty
is
well done.
actually why it didn't make my worst of the list. What the kind of stuff that we're saying, like I liked how it looked. I enjoyed watching the 50s
I agree.
movies aesthetic. Then I liked the hairstyles and makeup, and like Chris Pine did a decent job. I didn't
like him
for what
personally.
he was given. He was a shitty character.
I don't think Chris Pine's a bad actor.
I hate how the way he was killed. Like his wife kills him.
Yeah, that was nonsensical. I want to mention that.
Me and you, Evan, me and Evan saw it together, and we looked at each other right when that happened. We were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, because she was defending him hard as fuck earlier. Then all of a sudden she just kills him at the end.
She was like, "What did you think would happen?"
Yeah,
stabs him. What the fuck?
Yeah, really, my biggest problem with that movie is anything that I had interest in would be after the credits roll. Like as soon as she wakes up, does she break out of her thing?
Yeah, me and Dylan talked about
What is that woman's
yeah.
fucking motive? Why did she kill Chris Pine? What's she gonna do to Harry Styles? What is up with that?
So much of this movie drags.
Yeah.
And really, the twist should have been revealed halfway through.
You know what's
exactly.
funny? Evan, me and you talked about that after the movie. It's like they kind of dragged their legs and they didn't want to maybe shell out.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. Is they had this idea for this movie and they didn't want to shell out for this Blade Runner world.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like, well, we have we can build this set of this suburb and then have the mansion.
Yeah.
And then that's the movie. And we can keep the budget tight. And I think they just didn't want to explore that Blade Runner world, maybe for the cost.
I know.
But Dan Merle said that the same thing, and I felt validated because I was like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
But
someone else said that too. I forgot who, but
he was basically saying like that should be like
the halfway point,
the midpoint turn, or something is the reveal that you get.
Yeah, because there's so many stupid things in it, like the plane, like there's just so many
dancing drunk,
the
Harry Styles getting like promoted. That's actually completely pointless.
Yeah.
In promotion or whatever, like.
When like the black and white like dancer schemes and everything. Like, there's so many like just like this looks cool. So like or like this is a mystery. What could this be? Like cut all that out. Put the twist like halfway through the movie. Fucking keep going with it. And I agree with what you're saying, though. It's like they had one idea with this movie, which was this twist that it's an AI and that he's an incel and he's fucking keeping her captive. And they didn't think anything after. They just had this one twist and they didn't want to go anything after that. That isn't a terrible idea. They should have kept going with that after and like been like, okay, well that's our halfway. That's like fucking halfway like twist of the movie, and we got to go on what happens after. And she breaks through and she's able to bring light to this world, or like the Chris Pine's wife, she thinks Chris Pine is weak and she kills him and she tries to take down Florence Pugh because she thinks that she's gonna break like the secret of this world and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was a lot more room.
Like there was cut out all the stupid shit that didn't mean any sense and was just like trying to be mystery and expand on this world a little more.
I guess the biggest thing for me,
I agree,
is the movie, the title, and then like the visuals of the trailers and stuff. It really captured my imagination to where I thought it was going to be like a Twin Peaks kind of deal.
I completely agree.
But then it was just like you said, like a shitty Black Mirror, which I don't even like Black Mirror. So,
yeah.
I think it let me down on that level most of all.
Yeah,
it was a big letdown. Well, I guess I saw it a couple weeks after it was out, so I wasn't like expecting it to be good. But when I started getting the bad reviews of it, I was like, okay, this is and I actually didn't hate Booksmart.
I was about to say again another moment where I felt a little bit vindicated because everyone came out to shit on Olivia Wilde. I was like, well, Booksmart, in my opinion, personally, was not really what everyone made it out to be.
Yeah, it's
not. I really hated that movie,
like,
but
super bad or anything.
Yeah, and
I
then
think Booksmart though is like
it's an enjoyable time.
It's something you do for the studio, and it's like you nailed it, and then you get to make your movie.
Yeah.
But then she fumbled the ball.
I'll keep doing those studio shit.
two Olivia Wilde appearances.
I actually thought Booksmart was worse than this personally.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's just me. But
I can see that.
And it's like, and then if you know Olivia Wilde, it's like it's supposed to be like a feminist film, but she's like a faux feminist.
Oh my gosh,
she's that's
another thing.
Yeah, it's like she was friends with Harvey Weinstein, and then Nick Kroll's family is like involved with Harvey Weinstein, who's also in this movie. So it's just like
it's all fake.
It's exactly just fake woke BS. Yeah,
fake trying to look good.
Nick Kroll.
Yeah.
That's all I can.
Yeah.
Google Nick Kroll's dad. I dare you.
Yeah.
I dare you to Google Nick Kroll's dad. But you're correct. A lot of fake woke type bullshit, and it's also like it's such a surface level feminist kind of story.
Yeah.
Not to say like feminist.
She didn't know, but she literally just took was like, oh, what do they say is bad? Jordan Peterson. They said Chris Pine, Jordan Peterson. You know what I mean? It's like, really?
Yeah, we make Jordan Peterson, and then the boyfriend is an incel.
Yeah.
And then what if it was like, an abusive relationship, but it's like she's mind controlled.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so lazy. But like you said, it's a good looking movie.
Yeah.
There's some good technical elements.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, I'm going to go into my number 2 on this list of the worst of 2022. This one is Jurassic World Dominion.
I did not see this, so...
Jurassic World Dominion was so fucking awful. Back in 2018, me and Dylan saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and I was very disappointed.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. I don't hate Jurassic World 1. I've seen parts of it. It's definitely like shitty. It's definitely shitty, but like it's like the bet. Like out of the Jurassic World movies, like I like the idea of the theme park finally coming alive and a massacre at a fucking theme park. Like there's funny visuals and I kind of like.
I think it's like.
Well, that's kind of like part 1, anyways.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a theme park,
but it's not open yet. It's not open yet. I like the scene where like, the pterodactyls breaking rampage and like killing the assistant and all that. Like and like I like the idea that it did like really well and like it was kind of fun. Like it was just a fun time to be alive. Like I saw that in the movies with my whole family. Like I don't hate Jurassic World 1. I kind of like Chris Pine's character in that. Like he's just kind of like a generic Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. You're right. yeah. Chris Pratt's character in that, like, he's kind of just like the generic Indiana Jones, like I save him type of guy, and Bryce Dallas. There's funny.
He wants to fuck.
Yeah, there's funny jokes in it, like Verizon Wireless brings the Tyrannosaurus. Like, you know, it makes like a documentary.
That is a ballsy sponsor.
It is.
So like,
there's funny like commentary on like, you know, like the theme park world, like Snickers presents the Mindstormer or whatever, you know, at Six Flags. So I don't hate Jurassic World 1, but then Jurassic World 2 is fucking awful. I hated Fallen Kingdom. It's such a shitty movie.
The girl is like a dinosaur clone girl.
One of my least favorite movies of that year, 2018.
That one's hard to remember for me.
But that, I remember it has a different director, Jurassic World 2. So I was a little bit, like, had a little bit of hope that Jurassic World
Colin came back, right?
Colin came back. I wanted this movie to be good, because fuck Rise of Skywalker. I wanted Colin to, like, have a win and come back and be like,
let his nuts hang.
Yeah, let his nuts hang and be like, fuck you, JJ. Like, I made the better third movie than you. Like, your movie's shit, mine's better. Like, I brought back the original cast and everything. But no, this movie is...
All of that was for naught.
Honestly, this movie might be worse than Rise of Skywalker. I'm not kidding.
Really?
I genuinely... Rise of Skywalker is a little more offensive because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Bringing back Palpatine.
Right.
But everything that this movie does is the wrong thing. This movie is not even about dinosaurs. This movie is about...
It's about locusts, right?
Tim
or
Cook.
Something?
Of motherfucking Apple or whatever, like this evil giant, the evil CEO that wants to take control of the world's produce or whatever. So he has he makes his locust. He bioengineers a locust that kills out all the crops in the world besides his fucking biotech crops or whatever the stupid name is or whatever. It's so generic. And then the locusts get out of control and they're gonna fucking take over the world. So Chris or like Owen Grady and Bryce Dallas, they all have to break into the play. Yeah, and then the old characters are back because they're just trying to like bring light to it. So Ellie is like a fucking journalist and all this stuff. So they're trying to bring light to it and everything. And they cross paths. There's nothing to do with dinosaurs. I didn't say anything to do with dinosaurs in that. I like the premise of this movie that they're finally fucking free. Like, let's get some real shit with the dinosaurs like taking over the world.
What's really crazy about it is that this is the first time ever where
they're in the open world.
In the previous movie, they were like, okay, here's the big ending. The big ending is now the world is full of dinosaurs.
That's insane.
And you're like, oh shit, like we're gonna have like dinosaur world next time.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
exactly.
And then this movie
nothing
is just
to do with them.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's Locust Park.
I can't imagine writing this movie. Like, how do you genuinely get left off with the idea that dinosaurs are in this world and you have this concept and not a single thing that you do about it has to do with dinosaurs?
It's such a hard, like, key setup
it is.
to ignore.
It really is.
Oh, because can you also talk about how now he has the ability to, like, tame any dinosaur?
Yeah. This stupid Owen Grady mechanic that, like, he's upgrading it on his skill tree.
The video game mechanic.
Yeah, his skill tree. He's upgrading it on his skill tree. In the first movie, it's this raptor that he's been raising since birth that he can somewhat have some control over. He's like, all right, hold up, like stay right there, buddy. Like we've been controlling this. The second movie, like I think he starts to do it like a little bit more with Blue and Blue's friends and all that. It's like, all right, this is getting ridiculous. Maybe Blue.
Yeah, it's like he's kind of like Blue's friend in the first one, and then he becomes like the dad to the Velociraptor.
To the whole
in
group.
The second one.
Yeah, but it's like, all right, maybe Blue's giving like a vibe that it's all right. This movie, he's doing the T-Rexes and the fucking everything. He's like, hold up, baby. And the worst part is the fucking kid starts doing it. The clone kid starts doing it.
That's really bad. I didn't know that part.
She starts doing it with Owen, and it's like, what the fuck?
It's like the dinosaur force.
They respect her because she's one of them.
Yeah, she wanted them.
Yeah, and
that's kind of makes sense.
But it's really not that. I'm
but
just
for
saying
him
that
though,
right now. It's really
no,
not
not for him. No.
I know.
It would make sense like if if she was like laying in the leaves like bleeding, and the raptors chose not to eat her because she smells like a raptor.
Yeah.
But not that she's going out there like using the force on the dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's so stupid. It ends. The ending of the movie, nothing is resolved.
It'd be funny if the dinosaurs like all went into cages at the end of the movie.
After not having been acknowledged.
This movie is completely inconsequential. You could completely get a fourth movie out that had nothing. They probably will. That has nothing to do with this movie. And the dinosaurs are still out in the open world. They don't resolve that at all. I'm pretty sure all the main characters are still alive and just doing what they were doing at the beginning of this movie. Like Owen and Bryce Dallas Howard's character are taking care of the clone girl as like they adopted her and like that's like their kid now, which I didn't really hate that, but like it's just stupid where it goes. But everything is left off in the exact same place you're left. No one has a character arc or anything.
Yeah, I heard someone was like, it's crazy that none of the characters die, because I guess at the end of the movie they show like it's like a ferry with like every main Jurassic Park character on it, or something. Nothing, or are they on a plane or? Like
I don't remember. Yeah, I think they're like maybe flying away from the island. And
I forgot they came back like the other.
Yeah, no. Notice how I didn't say anything about Ian Malcolm. Or, like I barely remember what any of the. No one does anything. The whole point of the movie is there's just these stupid locusts, and then they just go and fucking kill them, and then that's it. Nothing to do with dinosaurs. Nothing to do with any of our main characters. It's just there was maybe like I 2 dinosaur moments in the movie. It was just like extremely stupid, and on top of what is already a stupid franchise, they made it even worse.
Well, get ready, Jurassic Galaxy is coming up.
Yes,
Dinosaurs in space. Ooh. That's the only place they can go next.
They should cross. I was gonna say they should cross over.
Yeah, it was just a very disrespectful movie to me because I do love that first Jurassic Park movie. So.
Well, that one's like an all-time classic.
It is. So it really kind of hurt knowing that like this is not even the end of it. Like we're probably gonna get another one after this because
Jurassic Galaxy.
This is fucking.
Let's
successful.
hope they were hedging their bets on the special effects budget.
Yeah,
and they were saving up. They were like, let's do the Locust and we can save up for the next one.
And the funniest part is like there's like I think there's like a prelogue to this movie or a prologue of this movie of like the dinosaurs like back like 65 million years ago, like back at like when they were like. In the prehistoric age, and like they completely cut it from the movie, but then they put it on YouTube after. It's like the best part. Like it's like actually pretty cool.
It's better than the rest of the movie.
See it back in the prehistoric age, and it's just like that's not even in the fucking movie. Like you just cut that out. It's so you cut that out to give the clone kid more screen time, and you know
that's
it's just
stupid.
It was a horrible movie that like.
I'm glad I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't either. It's very disrespectful to my religion.
Your religion.
It is. I'm a Christian. So
the religion of Steven Spielberg.
Yes, it was.
It's about to get worse. Indy 5.
Yeah.
JK.
Okay, so that was my
Your number 2?
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're gonna have the same number 1, but we'll get to that. My number 2 is, and I know both of you specifically brought up this movie. It's like I don't want to put this on, but I have a reason, and my number 2 is Lost City. So I just really like. So we were talking about like just bad experiences in watching a movie, and I know you mentioned yours like more disappointing. So this I like obviously I didn't have any expectation for it, but still I just went in and I just had a terrible time. And again, to quote another member of the John Campea crew, this time John Campea, he always says the worst thing a comedy can do is be not fun.
Not funny, yes.
And he's right. That is the worst thing a comedy can do. This movie is absolutely not funny.
Oh my God.
I remember, so I want to talk about the theater experience. It was like, so
it was very comfy for some people.
Yeah, well, Andy fell asleep during it, so that kind of
2/3 of the movie.
That says a lot about it.
Yeah.
So the whole time this movie, it's like what, like we'll say 2 hours. Not a single laugh. I'm serious. Nobody laughed the entire movie.
It was like a pretty like not I don't want to say packed theater.
It wasn't packed, but it was there was
a good amount of people.
Yeah,
that type of thing where there's there's groups all over the place.
Way more than Babylon.
Half full.
Exactly. Yeah. Way more than Babylon.
Way more than Babylon.
It was more than Babylon. Yeah. But no. So this is not a joke. Seriously, throughout the whole movie, correct me if I'm wrong, Dylan. If you can remember, Andy was sleeping.
I will say something.
I don't remember a single laugh.
Something kind of controversial.
Yeah.
The only person that I'm not joking. The only person that laughed was Andy.
I remember the one time I laughed. Yeah.
You laughed like once or twice before you fell asleep.
Yeah. I remember like when like Brad Pitt showed up. I was like, ah.
He laughed out of pain. It was like it was like a pity laugh. It was a pity laugh.
Yeah.
You're trying to get the crowd going.
You're working the crowd.
Hey.
And then also, I think what made it worse for me too is that like I had just saw Uncharted and I thought that was terrible.
Yeah.
But this was worse. You know what I mean? I was like,
a step down.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like oh shit, another shitty adventure movie. And then whenever Dora was, I think Dora was 2019. Dora is genuinely a better movie than Uncharted and Lost City.
Yes.
It was a way more fun adventure, Dora like Lost World. Whatever you want to call it,
little goofy movie,
like ancient ruin type shit.
Another better multiverse movie, like they like take to the acid and like they're in like the cartoon.
Yeah, Dora drops the acid. She goes that's crazy.
So Lost City is just completely not fun. And Daniel Radcliffe is in it, and I was like, you know what? Like it looks terrible. I was like, I want at least maybe Dan. I felt like he'd be the best part of the movie. Exactly. Like he'd be the funny villain. No, he's not funny. He's just bad in it. Yeah, he was stupid.
Brad Pitt was stupid.
He was honestly maybe the best part.
Probably was
yeah,
the
he
best part,
maybe
but he's so stupid.
Yeah, but he
comes into,
died.
the
He
first,
it's just a cameo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you anything that's the best part. I don't. Well, I will say this movie is terrible. It's just not on my list because I don't feel like I have that much.
I don't even remember.
No, but that was the reason I put it on my list because I thought about what John Campea said. It's like with the worst thing in comedy to do, it should be not funny. And I was like, this movie is just not funny. It's like you're just sitting there and it's just boring. You're just watching this shitty. So if it's not funny, then what you're left with is an adventure movie. And it's a terrible adventure movie.
Adventuring.
That's kind of what I was saying about Thor too. It's just like it's this movie that's like so like.
No, it doesn't do anything right.
The basis should be comedy.
Yeah.
And then it has all these factors that could support it, but they don't. So then it falls on the comedy, and the comedy's just not good.
Yeah.
So.
And then it's very similar to the Robert Zemeckis movie Romancing the Stone, and then I was
You're
like,
right,
that's just a
it's
better
the same
movie.
thing.
Yeah, it's just a more fun adventure comedy than this is.
And you can look past it if the movie's good. Like if this movie was awesome, I'd be like, yeah, it's kind of like Romancing the Stone. But
No, that's what I'm saying. That wouldn't bother me. But I'm saying the fact that it's a terrible movie and then
so
if they're similar, it's like, yeah, there's a better one I can go watch.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it makes it even more because, like, compare and contrast, it's
like, exactly.
Oh well,
I'll never watch this ever.
Yeah.
I would never recommend this to someone. I would never say go out and watch it. I'd say watch Romancing the Stone.
Exactly. Yeah. And Channing Tatum, he was bad in it. Sandra Bullock was bad.
I was fucking...
And Daniel Radcliffe, I said, that was really disappointing. Because I was like, maybe he can be like a funny villain. But
I was rooting for Channing this year. Like, he had Dog.
Dog.
He had Lost City. He had Bullet Train cameo.
He did.
He has fucking Magic Mike next year, which hasn't come out yet. But it's kind of like he's coming back. He's trying to do more movies again. I was rooting for him, but he's done nothing
Magic Mike
good.
will probably be a dub.
It might be a dub for him. I hope it is. But Dog, I didn't hate Dog. I didn't make my worst list, but it was nothing special. Just one of those boring like February
animal movies.
And then obviously this was terrible. So it's just like it's hard to root for him when like everything he's putting out is fucking boring.
He was kind of funny in Bullet Train, but I was like, they really made him like gay. Like,
and Free Guy, he was in Free Guy, and I hated him in Free Guy. He's like the lame gamer in the real world, but in the game, he's fucking like the ripped dude. Did you watch Free Guy?
I did watch Free Guy.
He's like the ripped dude on like the top of the mountain or whatever that like they have to go to and get some stupid item from him. I hate Free Guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. Yeah. Lost City just
terrible movie.
Bad
Terrible
movie.
name.
Not funny. Not adventurous. It was a cheap. When did it come out?
I want to say like April.
April, cheap early year rom-com cash grab, and I think it did.
It did
well.
good. It made like $100 million.
Yeah, it did domestic. Well. So, and because you have two pretty big leads in it, and also Brad Pitt, he's barely in the movie, but they used him in the marketing. Exactly.
It's a super like your mom will want to see this.
Yeah,
because it's like right. It's exactly like.
But she won't like it because there were old people in our theaters and they were not laughing.
Like
so, exactly.
But it's like that.
Well, some people did. But.
What's the word? Like that stereotype of a mom.
No, I don't mean you. I mean like John Campea said he liked it a lot. To quote him again, but I used to quote.
But
kind of like against him a bit, cause But anyways, who cares?
Yeah.
But I was just like, it's that stereotypical like the mom that like loves Fabio.
The
romance novel. And it's like, like I'm Sandra Bullock, and then like Brad Pitt's there and Channing Tatum's there. I think that's the only person this movie could appeal to.
Yeah. But bad movie.
Yeah, that's a terrible fucking movie.
Yeah. So that was my number 2.
Yeah.
But Dylan, what's your number
bad
2?
movie?
Bad movies all
around.
Bad
movie.
Now, let me see. What was
it's getting smelly in here talking about all those bad movies.
I
like it. Sounds like a big hot shit in here.
Yeah, but it's okay. We're almost right there.
We're
in the heart of the shit, but we're
So I have one that I don't think either of you saw. So I'll try not to go on too long about it. But it is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I did not see it yet.
You guys didn't see that one. So me and Evan have.
I had a feeling this would be on your list though, because I remember you mentioned you hated it. Yeah.
I was, and it's kind of like my theme on my list where it's like disappointing. I was pretty excited for this movie, and there's actually I'll do a quick mention later of a Nicolas Cage movie that I am excited for. No hate to Nicolas Cage, of course.
Oh, of course.
But this movie was just me and Evan have talked about it many times on the podcast, where it's like, fuck your irony. Like, I'm sick of irony. I'm sick of the fourth wall. I'm sick of self-awareness. And this movie is like
the epitome.
It's just straight up like boring Deadpool bullshit.
Yeah.
And I was really expecting, like, I like when an actor can, like, make fun of themselves a little bit and stuff like that. But this was very stereotypical. Like, Nicolas Cage is just playing a pompous actor. He's not playing like a lunatic or, you know, like he's not like depressed or like there's no good angle to it. He's just like
it's just haha the funny Nick Cage movie.
Kinda. Like he's playing like as if Nicolas Cage is like a stuck-up actor, which I mean, you know, he kind of is like a little bit, you know, he takes himself pretty seriously. But not in the sense that he won't do certain things. But my point is, they don't do anything interesting with like the parody Nick Cage. It's very boring.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal is like whatever. The dynamic of the movie is supposed to be like, you know, a Hollywood actor goes and befriends like a cartel like drug dealer guy, and then it turns out that he's not even in the cartel.
That sounds like the Interview.
It is kind of like the Interview.
Yeah,
it is like that, and it's also like real life. That basketball player that went to North Korea.
Yeah, it's also bad like the Interview. Why I hated that movie. I did not like it.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was really bad.
You don't remember?
No, I remember the Interview.
Oh,
I
right.
remember the movie that well.
Oh, okay, yeah. I couldn't. I went like 5 minutes. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very
Bad.
It's very boilerplate. You know, it's very standard for like someone make us like a Deadpool script.
Yeah, with Nick Cage.
Of Nicolas Cage.
They love Nick Cage. Make a Deadpool version of Nick Cage.
Yeah, and then the end of the movie is like them making the movie of what happened in the movie.
And then you watched it.
And then I was like, oh my god, I'm on the red carpet with Nicolas Cage. Oh my god. No, yeah. So that sucked, and the key reason is here is just it was disappointing. And I will say we can skip it. My number one was Lightyear, but we
you mentioned that. Yeah.
Wow. Fucking Lightyear. Terrible movie.
Well, will you have any more to say about it?
Yeah, do you have anything
about
to say?
Lightyear?
Yeah. A little rant.
No, just like I said, it should have been an action movie.
Yeah.
Should have been a kid's action
I agree.
movie.
I agree.
That's all I really have to say about it.
Yeah, I agree.
So Andy, I'm pretty sure we have the same number one, but take it
Can we say
away.
it at the same time?
Yeah.
Wait, let me count down.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's fair.
Yes.
Well, are we gonna say our number one is? Or are we just gonna say the movie
Just say the
title?
movie
No,
title.
say the movie title on 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Halloween Kills.
Ends.
That's what I meant. Whatever I'm calling.
Come on, son.
Halloween Ends.
I literally wrote Halloween Kills. Okay, I meant
This
Halloween
movie-
Ends.
That
was kinda funny.
This movie actually is one of the reasons why Scream is a little bit lower on my list, because this showed me what true pain is.
Yeah, this movie is horrible. It was horrible.
I can't even believe how god awful this movie is.
It is, yeah.
I think it might be the worst Halloween movie I've ever seen. I haven't seen a lot of the Halloween movies, but I know a lot of the premise of it. Like, it goes into like the Thorn cult and Jamie Myers, like the
I have actually
granddaughter
seen
and everything.
every Halloween movie except the last 2 and
Yeah.
the
You didn't
Rob
see Halloween Kills.
and the Rob Zombie ones.
Yeah. I haven't seen the Rob Zombie ones. This one,
I like the Rob Zombie ones. Just for record, I do
you
like
know
them.
what's sad? I liked the first like 10 minutes of this where that kid is annoying the shit. Do you remember that the main character?
Yeah, that was not a bad intro. I don't remember his name, but
I'm not figure it out. Yeah, I liked that intro because it was it caught me off guard. Like, I was not expecting like this little shithole kid like being annoying, and then out of nowhere,
and then he accidentally kills him.
Yeah, he accidentally kills him. I was like, holy shit! Like, let's do it. This is something different finally for the Halloween franchise. But no, then you start to take place, and you let's see what Corey Cunningham. Oh my god, Corey Cunningham is the worst character I think I've ever seen on screen. In the last
I don't know if I agree with that, but he is
in
bad.
the last couple years.
Let's call him the worst character of 2022.
He is the worst character of 2022.
I could probably maybe
they
agree
ruined
with that.
Michael
He is
Myers
bad.
in this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Completely
For
ruined
sure.
Michael Myers. He is a bitch. He gets completely just like thrown to the side,
but it ends up being kind of pointless.
At the end, this movie tries to be a million things too.
That's exactly.
What it tries to be a movie about how Haddonfield is fucking like evil, is like, you know, he's out there, so everyone's not trusting each other, and like that's like the first.
And it tries to be a legacy sequel, kind of building him up at the new Michael Myers.
Yeah.
But then they completely shit on it at the end.
That's the part that makes no sense. They're trying to build up Corey to be the new. I was the whole time I was thinking like, okay, we're building this up because like Michael's gonna die at the end, but Corey's gonna live, and he's gonna be the new Michael Myers, and like we're gonna get Halloween fucking 12 or whatever with Corey. They kill Corey in the end. Nothing. Like, it's like I give it props that it ends, like, you know, it ends the Halloween franchise, but the
Halloween ends.
But the whole movie that leads up to it is fucking stupid and horrible and doesn't get that ending justified.
And so much of it is focused on Laurie's granddaughter and his like romance, and it's just so bad. It's just so bad.
Why is she so horny for a killer? Her mom was killed a year ago. She is fresh off a murder.
Yeah.
Like her fucking mom was murdered.
Yeah, it makes no with who the character's been in the first and second movie. It really doesn't make any sense.
You would never ever believe that this was the same writer and director as like the other two. You would 100% think someone else came in and did something else because it makes no sense what they've been building up. Like she's horny as fuck for this killer. Laurie, so what makes no sense, I heard someone else bring this up, but I didn't think about it in the movie. So for 40 fucking years when Michael Myers is locked up, she's been fucking training and everything. She's waiting for him to come back. As soon as he's finally on the run, she's like writing a book in the beginning that's like how I let go of my trauma. It's bitch, now's the time.
Yeah.
Like now's the time.
Especially because he killed your fucking daughter.
Yeah, he killed, and you don't even see anything about that. I honestly think like that actress like fucked them over or something like this series, and they wanted to like show no remorse to like her character dying. Like I genuinely think that because no one talks about her dying at the end of the movie. Yeah. No one shows sadness about it. Like Laurie's like in like a state of like peace at the end of this movie. She's like fucking happy. She's like she's writing a memoir that's like, I finally come to realize what peace is. It's like
bro, I didn't hear about the novel thing. That's funny.
For 40
how
years,
I overcame my trauma.
It's dead ass like that, exactly. Like for 40 years she's been scared of Michael Myers, but now that it's finally a real time to be scared of him after your daughter was murdered by him, it's like, whatever, we're writing a book, everything's good now, like nothing's gonna happen. Taking care of my granddaughter.
I got a signing at Barnes & Noble.
And then something I also really didn't like. The thing that's scary about Halloween 1 is that like Michael Myers is like unexplainable. Yeah. It's like he doesn't have. You don't know his motive.
Exactly. He's just a guy that came back and started murdering.
Exactly. You don't know what his motive is. You don't know why he did what he did as a kid. He's just a psychopath. He's just evil.
He's just evil. He's
just evil. Yeah.
He's the Shape in a way.
Yeah.
He's the Shape. Yeah. And it's like in this through Corey's story, they try to kind of make you sympathize with Michael Myers. Because it's like, no, he didn't mean to kill that little kid. Everyone thinks he's bad. It's like, then him and Michael Myers have like these weird psychic connection.
They do. They fucking Vulcan mind meld. Like they like touch each other and they enter each other's minds. And Corey's like, I understand you now. Like, and just like the Scarecrow killer and like all the killers were stupid. Like the nurse was fucking the doctor, so like he goes and kills him for Laurie's granddaughter and everything.
Yeah,
like,
so Michael Myers is barely in the movie. But then it's like they're trying to do that,
barely in the movie,
which already kind of shits on the original movie and other Halloween movies. Well, mostly the original, because they do kind of explain Michael Myers in the sequel. But they try kind of, in a weird way, to kind of explain him again. But then they're building that, and then they shit on it immediately. They're like, never mind, he is evil. And then they kill Corey, and it's like, wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, they don't ever fully commit to a single thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a bunch of like...
I agree with that.
Like, just like...
They just threw shit at a wall.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so Laurie is like now like fucking at peace and everything, but no, now Michael's back, so that doesn't mean anything. Now she's fucking scared of Corey, so like she's no reason for her to be at peace. Then Corey's like, they're setting him up to be the new killer. No, they kill him halfway through. Then it's like, oh, Michael and Laurie get a final showdown. No, it's like 5 minutes long, and it's fucking stupid.
I was gonna say, and that was the big marketing thing for this movie. Is that like, oh, their final showdown, and then it's like at the very end for like 1 minute.
Terrible. Yeah, and it's like, that's terrible. And she completely like forgives her daughter, like the granddaughter, for everything. Like even though the granddaughter tried to fucking kill her, if I remember, I were like,
I don't think she tried to kill.
I heard the granddaughter became like a little evil.
Yeah, like,
she didn't try to kill. Right? But she was like she was kind of cool with him, like doing
that's
some
what it was.
fucked up
She
shit.
was cool with like
But she didn't fully know, but she like kind of knew. Yeah. So it's like she wanted to be a little in the dark, be a little bit ignorant. But that was all terrible. And that it's the fact like. They knew it was bad because they marketed Michael heavy as fuck, and then he was barely in the movie.
He wasn't even in the fucking
and they're like,
movie.
we knew we fucked up making Corey.
Yeah, Corey Cunningham.
And it was like it was supposed to be like some cool shooter shit for a while. It's like, oh, he's bullied, so now he's gonna be evil.
Oh my god, he's being like, bullied by this fucking terrible like teenage. He's like way bigger than them and everything. He's like this like stupid generic.
It was similar to Halloween Kill. For Halloween Kill, weird. Kind of try to do this weird like commentary on like cancel culture. Yeah. They kind of try to do a weird commentary on like bullying
and school shooters. And like, how far you can push.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry. But it's terrible.
It's like why? Yeah.
It was boring. The kills were terrible. I was eye rolling the entire. I was laughing through this movie.
It was just stupid. Yeah, because me and Andy saw it together. It was just like the whole time we were like, what is this?
It's an embarrassing whimper. To the Halloween franchise going out.
I mean, going out with a whimper.
On my list, two terrible third movies: Jurassic World Dominion and Halloween Ends. Just fucking horrible letdowns. In every way. And that's with two terrible second movies too, Halloween Kills and Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Both of those were fucking terrible, and they let me down.
I see. Yeah, mine's more of a hot take there. I actually did enjoy Halloween Kills, but
I hated both of those,
yeah.
so I didn't think the bar could be set any lower. But then these movies are just fucking as awful as it gets. There's no effort or care given at all.
So I kind of have a comment / question. So one of my favorite things I did see the first Halloween. Of like the new Halloween,
because we all saw that together.
One of my favorite moments in that whole movie that like it sticks in my mind like so well is when he kills the podcasters.
It's when he gets peanut butter on his penis.
And when he wipes the peanut butter on his cock and makes the dog lick it.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was crazy. He's
That's
evil.
what I really said. Michael Myers is
He
a monster.
Yeah.
He gets it. Yeah.
He's a monster.
No, but it's the part where he kills the podcasters who are trying to like make like a true crime.
The beginning.
True crime like YouTube video about like. Oh, let's explain
Inside
Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And then he fucking destroys them.
Yeah.
Because he's the shape, and like you said about the first movies, like you can't describe him.
Yeah.
He's incalculable.
Yeah.
So I do like the idea of the franchise being ended with him killing someone that wants to succeed him. So does it play like that or no?
But they're working together up until that point.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
That's
and no, like I would get what you mean. Like if he wasn't working in tandem with Michael Myers, I would agree with you. But they have that weird like psychic connection moment where he lets them go. So it's like they have some kind of sympathy for each other.
They're trying to do that, and I would agree with you too if Michael was badass in this movie. If Michael was badass and Corey's coming along and there's this new fucking killer that's like trying to like get hyped on the Michael Myers craze. You know, the whole town is scared of Michael right now. Michael's out killing teens, and then he starts seeing like on the news like this other guy's trying to take fucking his credit on all these kills, and Michael's like, fuck no, like this isn't gonna work. Like no one's gonna take my credit. I'm the only Michael Myers forever. Like I agree. That could like something like that could work.
But that's not what they do.
That's not what they do. Michael's a pussy. Okay. Michael's a pussy the whole movie, and Corey's like fucking out there like trying to be like take over his legacy, and then at the very end, like Michael comes out of nowhere and like kills Corey, and like is like takes his mask back because Corey takes his mask.
But I do like the idea of like not in the way of like, oh, there's a copycat killer, so I'm gonna kill him, but set it up in the way of like Shia LaBeouf taking the hat, like you said, he takes the mask.
Yeah.
Like Shia LaBeouf taking the mantle and taking the hat in Indiana Jones, like the way they kind of make fun of it.
Yeah.
Like, or like make fun of like, oh, Ray's the new Luke, or like the kids in Ghostbusters Afterlife or the new Ghostbusters, like not make fun of a copycat, but make fun of like you said, like a legacy thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like fuck a new Michael. Like
I would 100% agree with you if that's what they were going for.
But like I said, I didn't see it, so I was curious if it played like that at all. But yeah.
But that's not how it feels at all. It just feels like they're just trying to like. Make
and even if that was true, you're still for an hour and 40 minutes watching a terrible movie.
Yeah,
so like just for a last minute payoff, you know what I mean?
Really,
yeah.
It's just this terrible love story that you hate both of them, and you're just like, what the fuck? I hate. Like, why are you?
Well,
like half of the movie is just like this, like, the drama.
Yeah, the drama that like
the first half. Is
just
like
she dumps him, and he's all mad about it. And she's like, she can't. Like she goes to Lori, and she's like, if I can't have her, then you can't either. I'm killing her by midnight or something. Like it's a terrible love story of like this girl that makes no sense why she would ever like him.
Yeah.
And it's horrible horniness, and it's cringy, and it's such a. You can't believe that, even though I didn't love Halloween 2018, it's absolute amazing the train wreck that it's become.
Yeah, no, seriously.
It's like a genuine.
It's kind of like Star Wars, the sequel trilogy.
It's kind of amazing to watch these sequels
Yeah.
that just aren't planned, that are just made for money, and just watching the absolute.
It's always like, hey, let's make a trilogy.
Well, I think
announce a trilogy.
Let's announce a trilogy and then only make one movie and never like
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say, well, they just did Hollywood in 2018, and then after that, they were like, oh no, we're actually gonna do two more. Yeah, I think it was supposed to be just its own thing at first, but
it was very disappointing, and it was a terrible, terrible movie. That
I agree.
Definitely up there with like Hellboy 2019 and Slender Man, and that's like one
those
of the worst.
Pretty bad.
Was one of the worst movies.
It's a deserving number one
I've ever seen in my entire life
of
in theaters. At
the
least.
worst
Like, not one of those stupid movies you see like later that you know is terrible.
Yeah.
Like you went to the theater and you're watching it for the first time, like, oh my god, this is terrible.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those experiences.
I agree.
So
that's our number one.
That's that. Yeah. So number one, Halloween Ends, Lightyear for you. A lot of shitty movies we were talking about.
You know, I guess you guys saved me a few times.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't see Halloween, I didn't see Jurassic World, I didn't see Scream.
Well, I wanted to see the Massive Talent, whatever. I wanted to see it, but you told me it was so bad, and I didn't go see it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Babylon, so maybe you'd like it. I don't know.
Well, you didn't shit on. You shit on prior to it. Shit on Massive Talent way more. And either way, I would have went to go see Babylon because it had the Damien Chazelle like grab for me. That had nothing for me. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, funny Nick Cage movie, but it's like no, it's bad. I'm like, he's in a million bad movies.
Yeah,
so
it was like a fence, like on the fence.
Yeah,
and it was like, oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I get you.
I feel you.
Yeah, buddy.
So
all right.
Are we getting into our best now?
How long have we been going?
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours. Okay. Interesting.
Maybe you want to pause real quick? I'll
Yeah.
go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, did we say?
No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of our worst of 2022.
Yeah.
Some real stinkers, some real poor choices,
Terrible
some real
movies.
bad movies.
Horrible movie. Honestly, this year was kind of disappointing for me, if I'm being completely honest. Like, actually, towards the end here, I saw 3 really good movies in a row that I'll get into that have kind of turned it around. But even, like, the big movies, like Top Gun Maverick, I don't know if we're going to do that later. Like, even some of these really big ones, like the MCU movies and everything, like, they I don't want to talk bad about it. I liked that Top Gun Maverick a lot, and it was good. But, I don't know, just this year was kind of disappointing for me. I can't lie. Like, the A24 movies didn't hit as hard as I wanted them to. Like, the blockbusters didn't hit as hard as I wanted them to.
There wasn't... Well... I was going to say there wasn't a good superhero movie. There was. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But Marvel, garbage.
Yeah, Marvel is garbage. That's really what it is, if I mean more than anything else. Marvel was just fucking garbage this year, and it was just disappointing.
Nothing new.
Honestly, like,
but it's getting
more
worse.
than normal.
It's getting worse.
I will take a Shang-Chi over what we got this year any day of the week. Like, that, at least that was, like, enjoyable to watch, like, even if it wasn't, like, one
well,
of my
I'm going to say, though,
favorites.
but people say that about, like, Black Panther, where it's like, okay, that was the decent one this year. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't see it, so I don't know. But
You're
you know
right,
what I'm saying?
you're right. I mean, but still, yeah.
Because last year it's like, oh, Shang-Chi was decent, and then Black Widow and Eternal were terrible. Then this year it's like, oh, Black Panther's decent, but the other two are terrible. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be a mess. But yeah.
But thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing to hear our thoughts out and whatnot and so forth. And please leave a like if you are inclined to do so. Please subscribe because very shortly you'll be treated to our best of 2022
we'll
video.
be continuing this,
and we'll be lucky enough to have Andy back with us.
Yeah, we'll be continuing this very quickly after.
Any closing thoughts for you, Evan?
Goodbye. Best of 2022. Click it.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.